We're live.
Oh, don't be chickening out now, dude.
Now.
You know what? It's actually more nervous being on someone else's stream than it is your own.
Really?
It's weird.
Good evening, Mr. W. Hope you're well too. We're all good here.
It says nobody's watching yet, but we know Mr. W's there. I wonder if there's just a backlog.
It's delayed, isn't it?
We'll see. Here we go.
7.
Here we go.
Monch 2.
Hi, Monch 2.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. W. I'm sure you're there still. Hi, Alan.
Alan Cook. How are you doing, my good man? Come on, Ant. You've got to put your hat on.
Hi, David. Hi, Ian.
Hang on.
Right. Hi, Peter.
There's a delay.
We're just getting used to this platform. Hi, Will.
Hello. God, it's not people.
That jumped up from 7 to 29 then. That was crazy. Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
Have you seen his new hat? Hi, old Blue. Hi, Matthew. Who's the handsome fella on the...
Isn't that how you harness your energy for your van?
Hi, Chris.
Well, I'm trying to protect myself from some controversial shit, mate.
Oh, yeah. Hi, you conspiracy theorist, you.
Hi, Martin.
You all right, buddy? All right, Chris. Come on, Ant. You can't leave me hanging here on my own, man.
Was it?
If you can't beat them, join them.
All the emojis look the blooming same on this end. Hi, Cassie.
Fucking hair on it, you know.
We are Purdy's son. We are the collective. Hi, Connor.
Hi, Connor. All right, dude.
Ant's got his hat on now. Hi, Donna. How is everybody? Another one. Is that Dan?
Yeah, that's Dan. Hiya, Dan.
Ant's Vanlife. He's on YouTube as well. He's another Vanlifer, full-timer.
Yeah, make sure you get over there to Ant's channel as well, guys, and give him a sub and a thumbs up.
Have you got a tinfoil hat as well, Chris?
Mr. W, that was fine, mate. I didn't mind at all. You know, our platforms it's there for free speech, and you know, everybody's entitled to their opinions.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
I think you replied to it, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Just having some food.
Matthew Round says you need to paint that hat white and join the KKK, Ant.
Hi, Matt.
I'll just borrow yours, mate.
Will cling film be all right? I think it'll have the same effect.
No, you don't want cling film. You'll get BPA stuck into your cells in your body.
Oh, there we go. I was wrong.
We'd be called Klingons anyway.
Klingons.
And what is that?
It's my nana.
It looks a bit rude.
Don't listen to her. She started already.
Oh, we're 3 minutes in. Come on.
Really?
How many have we got in here? 68. Wow.
That's pretty
That
good.
is pretty good. That is pretty
For
good.
a Wednesday. We don't normally go live on a Wednesday, do we?
No. We just thought we'd do a random one.
We did say last time
on
Sunday that you were thinking about doing it with Ant today, so we're doing it.
Yeah. So, Ant, you and your channel, you're a little bit known for some of the controversial stuff, like myself. What started you off on that path?
Reading the truth.
Reading the truth.
Reading the truth. Seeing between the lines. Sieving out the... Can I swear?
Yeah.
Sieving out the bullshit from the reality. Turning off that square thing in the room called a television.
Yeah. You see a lot more when that thing's not on, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll just say a few more. Hello. Travelling Chef. Hi, Mr. Angus. Hi, Rudy. May the force be with you. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Carol. Oh, Carol's been eagerly waiting, bless her.
Oh, bless.
Hi, Mr. S. Hi, Mike. Hi, Nick. Hi, Jez. Hi, sometimes I wonder. Right, go on, you can carry on.
Right.
Hi, time travellers. I have to say hi to everybody. I hate ignoring people. Right, go on.
Right, guys, we're here tonight because we're basically questioning some of the mainstream narratives that's been going about.
Got a load of bugs in here now.
A lot of you already know, like, my opinion on things. Ant is very much of a similar mindset. So I'm just gonna run a couple of posts that I've seen from the mainstream media this morning. Everybody feel free to comment and put your perspective on it. But hang on, where are we?
Ant has his own channel as well, Jez, so you might have seen one of his videos, Ant's Vanlife.
Yeah, go subscribe.
I'm sure they will.
Thought I'd milk it, you know.
People engulf the world. Hi, Nine.
Right, I'm going to run this one by everybody first.
You're right there, David. Hi, Paul. It's beautiful, isn't it? So shiny. You'll be cooking in here soon.
I'm going to be spared from the microwaves. I've got the foil hat on.
That's like I said earlier, that's where you cut his hair too short and then you got the Mr. Muscle out.
I'm giving him a good polish.
Mr. Sheen. Right, guys. What do you think of this? Right, this is a comment that's in the Daily Mirror this morning on the online. I don't know if you no,
you can't.
No,
see
you
it.
can't. And fucking hell, my phone's gone dead.
Oh,
shit!
You are so clever.
Can you just plug me in and turn me on, love, please?
That sounded so wrong.
It always does.
Right. One post in the Daily Mirror this morning, was up to 41,000 dead in the UK through COVID. Okay. So that's one post that they put out there this morning, and that's in accordance with, you know, all the tests that they're doing and everything like that. Yeah.
Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz.
I'll get to it in a moment, guys, because like I say, it's on my phone. Can you switch that back on?
It's 0% still. You're gonna have to wait a while.
Ain't that just spoiled things? Yeah, shout out to Connor. He needs a shout out, apparently. Conspiracy theory time. Yeah, is it conspiracy? I mean, I'm picking up stuff here from the mainstream media, you know. So, is anybody on here? Do they think that that's conspiracy if they read it in the mainstream?
Shut your phone down. Oh, thank you, Nick. We're just trying to make.
Can't talk about that.
Right
you
now.
can't talk about that.
Can't talk about that subject.
You'll get shut off completely.
Yeah, the one that might have shut the phone down.
Yeah.
Can't talk about that one. YouTube will just kick us off. Forecast of
Right. The government COVID forecasts are fictitious and don't compare to the much higher figures for flu over the last 15 years. Can you explain that, please, Roger Rabbit? I'm going to give everybody a chance for a shout out in here. And
where you going, Bruce? We'll catch you soon. Fake news.
At the end of the day, mainstream media are all owned by the same people.
95% of them are owned by, what is it, 5 or 6 corporations?
5.
Definitely, Angela. Yeah. I'm kind of on the fence and consuming from both sides of it, really, and just figuring out what I believe myself.
Yeah.
And trying to remain positive.
Time travelers and start ranting, bro. I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down.
Does he want him? He want ranting. Ranty ant in the house.
Oh. Where's your ant? Where's your hat, ant? 5G proof. Fried G proof. Where are you from? Asia? There's my hat.
That's my opinion.
Hi, Evan that can.
Whoa, this is harder than YouTube comments
Yeah,
to keep up with.
The comments are coming through pretty quick here.
Yeah. Hi, a van that can go anywhere. Roger Rabbit's looking for a link.
Yeah, if you can post the links, post any links, guys, then please feel free to do so. I'm going to get into this in a minute. My phone just died. First time what? Sorry.
First time I've seen Ant Quiet, Charlie Max.
Yeah, I'm reading the Off-Grid Nomads UK. They say about Skynet. Well, that's Tesla geezer. What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. He got permission to put something like 40,000. Yeah, right. Well, astronomers around the world are complaining now because they can't do constellations and stuff because these satellites are going in the view. This basically is just junk in the sky now.
Yeah. Have you heard about? I mean, I don't know whether there's any truth in it. I suppose that there might be, but apparently we've got Comet C19 heading towards Earth's orbit in the middle of May. Now, here's a theory. Why the hell would you put a shed load of satellites up into space if in just a month's time, we're going to be going through the tail end of that asteroid? And surely those asteroids, all the off trails from the asteroid are going to take those satellites out.
No, because these satellites are low Earth orbit.
Right. So
they're probably something like 800 miles up.
Right.
The International Space Station is around 200 to 300 miles up, around that area.
Right.
Really, it's not really in space.
So we're not expecting any of this debris from this comet to, fall out of the skies and hit us on our tinfoil hats. Then
I don't know. You need a lead hat for that from that one.
Somebody did ask what do you think? Where was it?
What?
Oh, right up here. What exactly do you believe?
I believe that we're all getting scammed either one way or another. The mainstream media are just confusing everybody with propaganda and fear. That's what I believe. I believe that there is something out there regards a virus of some description, but I'm not sure whether it's any worse than the seasonal flu pandemic. You look at the death toll. I mean, Daily Mirror again, they put out this morning that another 25,000 deaths in the UK on top of the global figures, which is something like 160,000. So there's about 185,000 people possibly that have died from COVID-19, but that's still nowhere near in comparison to the average figures of how many people die of common flu every year.
What about
what do you believe on that?
See, I think it's either one of two things. Well, it could be both. It could be they want to force vaccinate people, which will have a chip inside it. Yeah, I always tell people, never ever go and get a test because they get your DNA and you put it on a record and then you're on the database then.
Yeah.
Simple. I believe it's to crash the economy. I mean, they're saying only key workers can work. Well, the way I see it is everyone's a key worker because you're contributing to the economy.
I totally agree with it.
It doesn't matter if you're on the dole, for example. You're still you're still important because you're putting money back in what you've already got to get food and stuff.
Yeah. So everybody's work really is essential because you need to put money back into that economy, and you need it. You need money to be able to live. You need money to be able to pay your bills. You need money to be able to buy your groceries. Yeah. So isn't that essential? Isn't that essential work?
Yeah. I think what they want is to everyone to rely on the government for handouts. And then they'll turn and say, well, you need this vaccination. If you don't get this vaccination, you can't get no money. Same with school. Right. They're going to push it on to kids. They'll be pushing it on to people with driving licenses soon. Yeah. You won't be able to drive unless you're vaccinated.
Yeah. Now, did I send you that link about patent 060606?
Yeah, and Microsoft.
Yeah. So Bill Gates has already invented this microchip that goes in your arm, allegedly, or wherever it goes. And it rewards people in cryptocurrency for good behavior.
Yeah.
You know,
a bit like China, isn't it?
Yeah, you can go out there, you can Google that. Everybody just, bob into Google and, type in patent 060606. And sure enough, there it is, it comes up. So, is that conspiracy? Or is it the truth?
I don't know. I'm on the fence now. I believe it because it's Bill Gates for a start, and he's more money orientated. But then NASA have got a patent to create a second sun from nuclear fusion into space. So you can get a patent for mostly anything.
9. I've just seen your comment there, matey. You are totally correct, dude. The collapse of the economy will cause more deaths than the virus. And that's not a conspiracy. You think about it. If people aren't working, people can't get food. Yeah.
Pay the rent.
The economy's gone under. They've got no money to buy anything. It'll be like, was it South Africa where it was like, 600,000 rand for a loaf of bread? People were at that time were taking money to the supermarket in wheelbarrows just to buy a loaf of bread.
I'm trying.
It was like that in Zimbabwe, wasn't it? Was it $1 million for a burger?
something like that. Yeah. And that's because of constantly deflating the economy by quantitative easing, printing more money. So as it becomes less and less of the value of it becomes less and less and less. Evening, Jason. SGW, stop spreading misinformation. What misinformation are you talking about?
Rioting in France, apparently.
Fuck the economy. The economy is fucked, mate.
Cost of oil. That's what the economy was based on. Going to war to get oil.
I've been following the prices on that, and now oil suppliers are paying people to take the oil off the hands. It's worth so little.
I'll have 2 barrels, please.
One man in sprinter van will save the world. How are we going to do that?
How are you going to do that? The thing that worries me is I reckon it's going to kill van life. Once oil and petrol's gone and it's all electric, what are we going to do? What are we going to run our vehicles on? Hydrogen? Create some fuel cell?
I don't think Kirsty will let me do that after the last
Never again.
Would you like to tell everybody what
Never
happened?
Again.
Hydrogen fuel cell. I blew my van up nearly.
He did a blooming hydrogen generator thing. Got it going. It was giving off these bubbles.
It was actually pumping out 4 litres a minute.
It was doing its thing.
That's what mine did.
I was in the house, minding my own business, doing my ironing. All of a sudden, I hear what sounded like gunshots coming from the blooming car park outside. What the hell's going on? It blooming blew up, literally in their faces. He couldn't hear anything for hours after that.
I think that's where my tinnitus came from.
I think it was.
It's the pressure on it. Blew your eardrums. But I had a similar thing when I was at work.
Don't trust them.
I had my hydrogen generator wired up to a switch. And when you turn the engine off, you're supposed to switch it off. But I left it going. And I went round and done a few jobs. 20 minutes later, I come back to the van, turn the key. And of course, it's filled all the airbox nut up with hydrogen. And all of a sudden, you just hear this boom, and there's this bloke about half a mile down the road. He just dives into the hedge because this was at the height of all this terrorism stuff.
Hi, Pumpy.
Oh, it's hilarious! It was hilarious, but it blew all the plastic pipes that go onto the turbocharger and up. It blew my airbox to smithereens. I had to stick it back together with gorilla tape to get home, and it cost me like £150 in pipe work just to get it going again.
I heard someone selling black market Big Macs and chips.
Sometimes I wonder. Ant's video of his van blowing up was class. Wasn't for my pocket.
I don't think this is the real Comfy, is it? I think it's the other one. Comfy has a proper picture for me. Yeah.
Where's Comfy?
I think it's the other one. There. Nick May thinks van lifers will increase following the virus. What do you think, Ant?
No, if they put fuel in the bus, they won't.
I don't know. It's growing anyway every day, isn't it? I wouldn't eat McDonald's, mate, if you paid me. I'd rather die from starvation. It's just a science experiment. It's in a box.
Hi, Topper. Mike says, anyway, let's crack on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the links now that the phone's back up and running. Of course, when the phone went down, it shut all my links down. Sweetheart, can we swap sides, please, so as I can get to my phone because the charger's there. Excuse me. Yeah. What a task. What a task. Hold on.
Oh, it's really weird on this side.
Oh,
you pulled the light out now. Nobody can see us. Hello, is anybody out there?
Oh, shit, the bed. Excuse me, guys.
Pulled it out.
What's he done?
Temporary blinding lights.
So I
I've got a halo. Right.
There. We have light.
Go on. Let me check just comment.
Yeah, you check the comments a minute and I'll get these links back up.
Wandering hands.
Sorry about this, guys. Slight technical difficulties here.
Yeah. Cody's big ass in the camera. Hi, Goon Love. Who else have we got? Alan's going into van life when things get better. You need to understand a discussion on anything other than the narrative does not mean it's conspiracy theory. Absolutely, Mr. W.
Ant says he does meditation to overcome territorial feelings. What the fuck?
What, sorry?
Why are you people? What was that? Oh, it's Game Love. I already said hi. Hi, Rick. Meditation is good. It's good. I did it for an hour earlier. And Reiki.
She didn't do it for an hour at all. She fell asleep.
I did not fall asleep. I was awake.
Reiki. I'm a Reiki master.
Oh, yeah. I'm just a Reiki too.
Yeah, I'm Reiki 3 as well.
Kaylin was, I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant when I did my Reiki 2. So Kaylin's attuned to it as well through me tummy.
Yeah, I've got Reiki master, psychotherapy and hypnotherapy. Quite a few things.
I tried.
Did you say psychopathy there?
Psychotherapy.
Psychotherapy.
No,
Excuse me.
I tried hypnotherapy to quit smoking the last time that I quit smoking, and oh my god, it turned me into a raging lunatic. All I could think about was nicotine and fags, and it was horrible. It was the worst. I've done it with willpower before and just got on with it and managed, a few weeks at least of not smoking. But this, being hypnotized, it was horrible.
See, people don't understand what hypnotherapy is. It's not what people
think. Angry.
You get these people on stage. Most of it is staged.
Yeah, it worked on my sister though. She stopped and she was fine. That's why I went and got it. But it didn't work for me.
Timony, what does territorial mean? That's like territorial army, doesn't it?
Tim's well known for being is he a lefty or a righty?
I can't remember. What
Whatever
are
way
you
you go.
doing, Tim?
Right.
To get cleavers last week. What for?
Eat cleavers? What are you on about?
Oh, to eat cleavers.
I said eat cleavers.
You're looking forward to the daytime star. 30th of May. What's that?
That'll be
Will the real comfy living please stand up? Is he in here?
I can't even see anybody.
Ah, the real comfy's here. He's in caps locks. There's another comfy in here, comfy.
Comfy, you've been been cloned.
He's lowercase.
That's not the real comfy because I can't see him. I blocked the fake one and I can't see him.
The real one's the one with the picture on, the proper picture and the capital letters.
Well, I blocked the comfy originally because he was talking about bums and gays and shit, and I blocked him. My followers will find it. Oh, comfy living. Yeah, that's the real one. There's another one. There's a fake one. Like,
yeah,
there's a fake terrible going around as well.
Just before 9 asked what is Reiki. It's spelled Reiki, and it's energy healing.
Right, guys, I've found it at last. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have here a post in the Daily Mirror that says coronavirus deaths in the UK could be 41,000 more than double the official total. All right,
could be, but it doesn't mean they're going to be.
No, exactly. It's the wording, isn't it? It could be 41,000 more than the official total. So it says the official statistics released by the Department of Health has a death toll from COVID-19 at 17,337. But analysing figures by the Office for National Statistics forecasts a real total, which is more than double. Okay. It says the coronavirus pandemic has caused as many as 41,000 deaths in the United Kingdom so far, according to an analysis of the current statistics by, guess who?
Don't know,
the Financial Times.
Oh, right.
Well, that's like a real professional opinion, that, isn't it? You know, people are reading this crap. So, all right. So you've got that one there. Okay. But then, and, you know, to arrive at these figures, what do they have to do? They have to do tests, yeah? Does everybody agree with that? You know, for them to find out that, you know, these COVID cases are so much higher, would you all agree that you have to do tests? Yeah?
Yes, we're all agreeing.
Yeah. Right, well, we're all agreeing.
I'm agreeing.
Okay, so 2 minutes after I had that post this morning come up, yeah, again, in the Daily Mirror, I got this one. Coronavirus. NHS staff called back for retesting after tests found to be flawed.
I don't know why it's doing that.
When you said coronavirus, it went all clanging and banging.
So yeah, coronavirus NHS staff called back for retesting after the tests were found to be flawed. But they've just put out that, you know, they've done tests and more than 41,000 people have died, according to the Financial Times. You know what? Come on, guys. You know what? Can you believe it? And, you know, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist here. I'm questioning the bullshit from the mainstream media that we're all being fed.
I need my own channel. What about? Just not any of this. But Drifting Dan, hi Dan, he said that you were looking, I can't remember now. I've just had it up on the middle of the screen now.
Right. The real reason
you were looking good.
The real reason why I've got this on tonight, guys, is just in case anybody comes in and tries to spout off any of that conspiracy shit from the mainstream media. I think I'm safe at the moment. Well, yeah, what do you reckon to that, guys? You know, you've got, on one hand, these tests have been done and, you know, could be more than 41,000 dead in the UK, more than the official figures. Yeah. But the tests that the nurses have been doing are flawed, and they've all been called back in again.
Well, the test was fake. The bloke that invented the test said it was 80% wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And where do most of these tests come from? China.
Wuhan.
No, they can't come in, darling.
Oh dear.
Right. Tim said you used to say on the canal that you get territorial, but no, not anymore, thanks to either meditation or yoga.
What do you mean territorial?
Yeah, can you explain what you mean territorial, Tim?
William says, good evening, trying to work out what's going on. Who's the little fella sitting on your shelf? I don't know what he means.
Little fella sitting on what shelf?
I don't know. Feedback on one of the laptops. Yeah, that's all sorted now, thank God. These comments are quite hard to do with...
Vanlife to freedom, we can't talk about that.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, get your coffee before she...
Hey, monkey.
No valid test as of yet. Vaccine trials starting on Thursday, apparently.
Right. And do you know, before you put a vaccine out there, they're supposed to be tested for something like, is it 2 years? So what are they putting in your arm?
This is about
Yeah, the vaccine's already been created.
the
Because
plane.
you see that video?
Yes,
see
I
that
did.
video?
I did.
Yeah.
But has it been tested?
Of course
Because
it's not. You got to have
all the
someone.
information that I've seen, no, they haven't been tested.
Who's creating it? That's what you got to worry.
Well,
Bill
I hope
Gates?
it's not GlaxoSmithKline or somebody like that, because I saw another post this morning that, well, you can't even sue GlaxoSmithKline
Hi, Mom.
for,
Hiya, darling.
you know, putting a dodgy vaccine into your arms. We actually have a special branch in the government that if somebody has a problem with a vaccine, they sue that branch in the government. So where does that money come from? The freaking taxpayers.
Yeah.
Oh, it was gorgeous you were looking. Mr. Angus says, how many road accident victims have been saved in the last 2 months of lockdown?
How many people have died from heart attack because of stress?
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
What about suicidal thoughts? Being locked down, house, being in prison, basically.
How about being locked in a small space with Kirsty for all this time as well? You know, what's that going to do to a man?
Drifting Down would like to give you a reach around with that hat on. And Martin wants me to get the channel back. Purdy can do all this blubber in the goldfish bowl. Right.
I can't do lives in the goldfish bowl, though.
Cover haircut. It's good to see you together. Aww.
So, Anne, is there anything that you want to say on that there?
I just read a comment about Richard Branson. I was telling you about it earlier, didn't I?
Go on.
You're doing better with
So
the
he wants to
comments.
sue the government for 500 million or something, or get
Yeah.
money from the government.
Yeah. And whose money's that?
Taxpayers' money as usual.
Yeah. You know, we need to stand up and take this freaking country back.
Happy channel about the boondockers, not this sort of rubbish. Sorry, Martin.
Another thing that gets my gut up is when people say, you say, where do you live? And they say, oh, I live in the UK. People don't understand. You don't live in the UK. UK is a corporation. You don't live in a
Indeed.
corporation.
Yeah. What is it? Dun and Bradstreet Corporations? Company's House? It is Dun and Bradstreet, isn't it?
Tim, I never ever said territorial. Angry, maybe. That's not territorial, is it?
I tell you what, that doesn't have to make your head sweat.
It's the heat, isn't it?
I don't want your blooming stupid tinfoil hat. Get it off me. I'm sitting on the fence.
Yeah, so
I don't think he is, Julia. Love listening to Purdy. Lovely family. Thank you, Joy. We will be doing another live tomorrow night, by the way, because I'm having trouble with my memory card reader, so I can't get the vlogs into my laptop to edit them. So we're going to do a live until my new one comes. So that'll be just a normal, regular, everyday Boondoggle live stream.
Wow, we've got 144 people in.
Wow, I can't see.
Oh.
All right, Goon Love. Was 9/11 an inside job? Of course it was.
Hello, gorgeous. Protective of own space. How small does this world feel now? Yeah.
Yeah, and the only way that we can stand up and take our country back, guys, my opinion, is to get out there and start working again.
Yep.
You know, they say essential labor. Well, it's essential that we put food in our bellies. And in order to do that, we have to put money in our back pockets.
But if everybody just ignored this lockdown, you watch the numbers of COVID drop. They'll say, oh, it's getting better now, because they'll panic. Because then if they keep... Yeah, I reckon that's what happened. You notice it's slowly dropping a little bit by every day.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I think, Matt. I think they'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing until they've taken away every human right that we thought that we had. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah. I think it will just vanish and then it'll come back around Christmas time. And then they'll do a proper hardcore lockdown.
No, I'm expecting to be locked down for the foreseeable future. Actually, I think that they'll keep everybody locked down until people offer up their arms for the vaccine, so they can go to and do the shopping.
Martin, the garden's doing brilliant. We've got loads of seedlings coming on. That's all going really well. Purdy isn't from Lincolnshire. You're from Nottingham, aren't you? Nottinghamshire.
Nottingham originally.
Yeah.
Who asked that?
Nick May.
No, Lincolnshire's one of my favourite places in the country. I do love it down there. I spent a lot of time down there when I was younger, working and what have you. And the fishing's absolutely fantastic as well. So, yeah, I do like Lincolnshire.
Essential we all enjoy.
Yeah, here you go. Look, it says Sweden has not enforced lockdown. The numbers are going up. And did you know Sweden's one of the only European countries to have a chip in their body?
I didn't, Matt. No.
Didn't you?
No.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's something like 60% of the nation's chipped.
Right.
Do you remember seeing it on the news where they were saying, "Oh, we don't have to push the door or do anything for the photocopy. We can just wave our hands and it will open." That was
that was a few years back, that though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's funny how you forget about all these little things until somebody brings it up, and then it's like, oh yeah, forgot about
that. Rick has said something about why no one mentioned daytime star. Anybody know what that is? Or
do a quick Google on it. Love.
No, I want to explain because I'm trying to keep up with these comments.
Rick, do you want to explain what the daytime star is, please?
Tim, you're going to have to put £100 into my PayPal then, because I never said territorial.
Vanlife takeover. Back to work on Monday, David, was that? I just wonder why the space station is up above us. Oh yeah, absolutely, 9. They don't pay anything, do they? Just being robbed blind. Freedom control. Yes.
60% of the potatoes in my van get chipped.
I don't know what this was in reply to. Oh, where's it gone?
No, the article said 60%.
Right. Daytime star refers to Sirius, the dog star.
I think I'm
according
way.
to this.
I think I'm way behind
It's about super wind.
on these. This will go until September. Vanlife 2 says.
Sirius is brightest star in the sky and visible in daylight under the right conditions. So, but besides the daytime star, there is a comet that's supposed to be going around the sun. I think it's round about at this present time, and as it comes back out, it crosses in front of Earth's orbit, and then as we go back around the sun again, we will pass in the tail of the comet. So we're expecting some pretty epic meteorite showers. If any of them hit us, we don't know.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
I've just scrolled to the bottom of the comments because it's so hard doing it on this.
Right, what have we got to?
I've just skipped to the bottom because it moves every time a comment comes, so you're just constantly like that, and it's making my eyes shake. I'm trying to keep up with them from now on. No, it doesn't work because every time a new comment comes up, it moves the screen.
All right.
So I'll lose where I'm at and have to keep going back. So I've just given up and scrolled to the bottom.
Sorry, if there's something that we haven't answered in there, guys, feel free to shout up again.
There was a bit, but it's really hard. This isn't actually the YouTube platform; it's StreamYard's platform. So the comments are just whizzing by.
Tommy Richard Thompson, go see a bloke called Barry Trower.
I was just about to mention his name, and then yeah.
Ex-military. They still go to him. Even kings and queens of different countries go to him for advice.
Apparently, David Icke's videos are getting wiped off YouTube 5 minutes after he's putting them on.
Yeah, you know, are we not supposed to be able to have free speech? Go on.
I'm going to pin that one. I like that one. And don't forget his wife as well, Timmy. He loves me.
He can't even remember your name.
Can't remember my name, but he still loves me. He got me a birthday cake.
Yeah, thanks for that, Timothy.
Yeah, Nine Elland. I think the article said that. I think it was something like Huffington Post, but don't know.
Oh, thanks, Nick. Giant Muslim They're horrible things, aren't they, Jazz?
What's that?
Mozzies. Big rock, lots of fallout.
This
star thing.
Yeah, apparently this thing's supposed to be, is it 4 times the size of Jupiter, which I think that's bullshit because
impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's that what is it? Planet X, Nibiru, coming in on its ecliptical orbit.
I don't believe that either.
Hey?
I don't believe that.
No, me neither, mate. Good evening, Mr. Whippet Man.
Hi, Van Dad.
Bum doggers.
You'll be talking flat Earth. You'll be talking flat Earth next.
Right.
Your first trip
anyway,
when you get out again.
Now Dave's in.
30 from the planet of Mars, anyway. Are you putting your hat back on?
Yeah. I don't want anything that Dave says to me getting into my head.
We'll have to.
You're right, Van Dad.
Do you know what? I think a trip to Whitby. You two can fish, and I'll just stare at the sea. I want to look at the sea again.
Dave,
That'll be the first
can we
trip.
go to Whitby for some exercise?
Yeah, we'll have a drive out to Whitby for some exercise. You'll probably get kicked off the beach and arrested.
Come on, Ant, feel free to chip in there.
I'm just reading the comments.
What do you reckon to this platform then?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I like that you can have group thing, but I must admit, when we were chatting earlier, it was just us, wasn't it? Now that there's loads of comments and stuff, it's hard to keep up with everything. But
well, it's not. I've looked at my phone. It's totally out of sync with the phone.
Is
totally,
it?
By a few minutes.
Oh, maybe I should be looking at the phone for the comments instead of that blooming thing.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might make it a bit easier.
That might make it a bit quicker.
Yeah. But I like being able to click a comment and pin it. This is Ant's Vanlife, Dave. Desperate to get out again. I know we can't wait. It's Whitby's an hour away, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Dave, Ant is a fellow truther from the Truth Movement. he doesn't listen to the BBC either. Isn't that right, Ant?
Wow,
I do. Quiet tonight, Mr. Angus, isn't he?
Yeah.
Come on, dude, get on one of your rants.
It's
what
not.
You're here
It's
for.
not ranty Ant tonight, is he?
I did it all this morning. I filmed 2 vlogs this morning. One out today and one out tomorrow while I built my website.
Are you going to give us a teaser?
Out? Are you ranted
I'm
out?
all ranted out. Literally, I'm tired now.
Top of Whitby's about, what, 40 miles from us? If that.
Where is Ant from? Oxfordshire.
He's desperate for a rant, Mr. Angus. Rant.
Chanting for an Ant
I can
rant.
only do it when I'm walking, so I have to take the laptop down the canal to power for me.
Matthew says that you've gone shy, bud.
Yeah. Anyone seen the line of satellites? I haven't seen any. Was it on tonight as well? I've seen none of them. Kaylin.
How do I know them 2 nutters?
Just YouTube, wasn't it? We met at Stonehenge in person for the first time, but before that, it was all YouTube.
Yeah, but that was by mistake. You just happened to be
it
there.
wasn't planned or anything like that. You just turned up at the same time as what we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was on my way back from Southampton, down that way, and I had problems with my van, so I thought I'd put in at Stonehenge and sort them out. And that's what happened, really. And I didn't even recognise it.
Milford Haven, was it?
No, it's not Milford.
Was it not?
No.
No, anyway, it doesn't matter. Southampton.
Me on Shore, that's what it's called.
Where, sorry?
Me on Shore.
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
So that was the place. That was the place that all those cars penned me in.
Yeah, I remember you telling me now.
Yeah.
Have you done any videos with Scudo Camper?
Yes.
He has. That's probably where you've seen him then.
Dave,
Damon as well.
us we Sassenachs are not allowed in Scotland. We get driven out.
SGW said you haven't answered anything.
What was the question, SG?
Ask it again, because I've got my... It's probably my fault, because I couldn't read the comments before.
Oh, Matthew's gagging for me to let rip. I'm in chill out mode. It's
Open
night time.
platform, dude. Open platform. Does anybody else want to jump in as well?
Saturday takeaway. What's that?
You what, mate?
He said he'd seen me on the Saturday takeaway. What's that?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't watched telly. Is it a telly program or something?
Don't know.
I haven't watched telly in years.
No, I don't think Ant would have been on anything like that, would you, mate?
We haven't been to Norfolk yet, have we?
Not in this van.
No. I'm going to be on Channel 4 soon.
UK is being recorded as CVR.
You're going on Channel 4?
Yeah, TV
Oh,
show
what?
about vegan.
Oh,
My mate's got a chip shop, and he's the only one in the country to do.
Does he
vegan
work
menu.
for Bill Gates as well?
No. It's I don't know if anyone knows a bloke called Jimmy Doherty.
No,
know
sorry,
food?
mate.
It's called Food Unwrapped on Channel 4.
I've seen it advertised, but
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be on that.
Nick May says, so guys, where is a good place to stay now? Do you mean like now during the lockdown, or just in general, like Vanlife park-ups?
Darren Jackson, I think they will give him 500 million. Go look after your mates.
Can I have 500 million? What's that for?
The Richard Branson with his blooming airplane
with the bailout.
Down.
Yeah. So
how dare he?
Guys,
like, has he not got enough money stashed over blooming seas?
So this is where, if any of you were working before the lockdown and now aren't, this is where your money's going, or your taxpayer money goes.
Oh, follow
Richard Branson's bailout.
Watched us on YouTube on the one show again the other day on Liam's video.
Now that was a setup. Would you like to tell everybody about that, love?
Well, they had a load of, I can't remember any of the questions, but they had a load of questions they were going to ask Phil, who was in the studio, to pretty much set him up. And
they had a load of questions, and they gave Phil the answers that the BBC wanted him to give them.
They actually had his answers set out for him
in the questions.
But the only reason they didn't do that is because they ran out of time, because it was that Pudsey Bear thing where they were going to go out with.
Yeah, he also didn't give them the first answer that they wanted either. He kind of backheeled them when they asked him, so where you park now? He says, oh, not far from here. Well, that wasn't the answer that they were wanting. So,
but the documentary, the little 5-minute documentary or whatever you want to call it that they made of us, it was pretty good. It was quite positive. So that bit was all right. I wouldn't do anything else with them though. They've asked us to go in to do stuff with them since then, but I've just ignored them.
All TV shows lie, though.
You are.
They all lie. They all lie. This documentary I'm going to be in, that's all made up and fake. They got people off the street and told them what to say for the interview and made out that they were over 18 when they were only 16 working next door in the salon.
Oh my God!
That's what they did. And they said to me, what does this taste like? It was banana blossom I had to try. And I was supposed to say it tastes like fish. And I said, no, it tastes like crocodile. And he says, how do you know what crocodile tastes like? I said, because when I lived in Australia, I had crocodile and it's like a fishy chicken taste.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, that's a new one on me.
So there you kind of on about, having people set up for, doing certain interviews or anything like that. Did anybody see the, what's that fella's name in Parliament? That Hancock, whatever his name is. Hancock. Yeah. He let some information out the other day about some young boy that had died due to COVID virus. And there's actually something like 4 or 5 other photos of him, the same lad, dying in Syria, dying in Afghanistan, dying in Paris.
Is that coloured lad?
Yeah.
No, I researched that. It was photoshopped. I had a look. It's not real.
He's not real.
No, it's not real. I looked. I took the names in and had a look. Because one bloke was supposed to have died in Ireland, weren't he, as well? Another one in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's totally different. If you type the name in, it actually comes up with the real person and the real articles.
Right, but wasn't it that Hancock fella that put that photograph up of the lad and said it was such and such a name, but he'd also died in several other places?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't really watch government crap.
Was he not a crisis actor or something?
I don't know. I know TV shows that use the news use a lot of crisis actors, especially the BBC. They're prone for it.
Well, look at that incident when I can't remember where it was. It might have been a load of dead bodies lined up in Iran, but they'd also use the same photo for a load of dead bodies lined up in Syria. And what was the other one as well?
Is that in an aircraft hangar?
That was it. That was the one.
Yeah, that was for Italy, weren't it? COVID-19 one.
No. This was another one.
A load of coffins. It was a load of coffins with a rose on each coffin.
Yeah. But no, there was another one that I saw of a COVID hospital in Italy. Yeah. and one of the mainstream media channels had put out that this hospital is absolutely stuffed to its maximum, and doctors are really struggling to keep up. And then there was the same photo which also appeared in one of the American newspapers. Exact same photo, but they were saying that this was happening in America. So they used the same photo for two different destinations.
Of course.
Go on. He is very quiet tonight, aren't you?
I'm in chilled out mode.
You chilled out mode.
Yeah, I always am in the evenings, especially around 9 o'clock. That's why that's why I usually do my live streams at like 8 o'clock, because by 9 o'clock my voice is gone.
We would normally do them at 8 o'clock, but we're away. We're doing one at the same time, so we thought we'll do it an hour later and give them a chance to do theirs first. Nick Mays asked, he wants some advice and work doing. So, do you want to give us an email, Nick? It's in the description of any video that you go on. The description has our email.
Yes, guys. We actually started cutting a vlog yesterday. Purdy's back in business. I've had a word with my dad. He's okay with anybody pulling up behind us on the farm. If anybody wants to pull up here and get any work done on the vans, I know this might be controversial to some people, but at the end of the day, we need to put money in our pockets. We need to be able to eat and all the rest of it. So
social distancing.
We will practice the social distancing thing. We will do the PPE thing and, have the masks and the gloves and the disinfectant and all the rest of it.
It is working from home.
And we are working from home. So, I don't think that you're we're any danger to anybody else, because we are so socially isolated at the moment. Yeah. We only maybe go shopping once or twice a week. Everything's always wiped down. We're taking all the necessary precautions with wiping our lettuce leaves down with bleach, and they just don't taste the same these days. But we're taking all those precautions, and I think we'd be more at risk of something coming in from the outside environment. But
have you turned it off, Kaylin? Right. Can you keep up with the comments?
I can try my hardest
as well. Hi, Mark.
So yes, guys, open for business. Anybody who wants a hand with any work doing on the van, then just hit us up with an email. Ivor Van, question time on Wednesday in Parliament isn't real too. They all submit questions and vetted days beforehand so they can answer them. That's it. It's all rehearsed, mate. It's all rehearsed.
Did you see that thing about Bill Gates having shares in that that website called change.org?
Yeah.
And there was a petition going around about him or something, and he had it deleted.
Yes.
And there was something like 2,000 signatures.
Yeah. That's not censorship, is it? Bill Gates, World Health Organization, Gates Foundation, they're both pretty much one and the same thing. Bill Gates did that study, didn't he? The Event 201, which I still think might be a part of that. But he did that in association with John Hopkins University and the World Health Organization were in on it as well. He's calling a lot of shots there. The World Health Organization, well, let's look at that fella.
Night, Martin.
Let's look at, the chief executive that's running that spot. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. That guy covered up 3 cholera outbreaks in his own country. He's now covering up the COVID outbreak in China. He took money from the Ebola charity to fly his girlfriend home. He's wanted for corruption. He's got his hands in the back pockets of all the Chinese pharmaceutical companies. Yeah. And this guy is advising our government of what to do about the COVID. That's really sensible, isn't it? And, you know, World Health Organization, that should incorporate the world. But Taiwan's not allowed to enter because China doesn't recognize Taiwan as a country, as its own free country. So, you know, China are calling the shots. China are sending us our PPE masks, which are, you know, faulty. What the hell's going on?
Here's one for you.
Any of these people?
Did you know Boris Johnson's not his real name?
Really?
Really? No, I didn't.
His real name's Alexander DeFaffel.
DeFaffel.
Honestly.
So,
His name's Alexander DeFaffel. He's foreign.
Go on, love.
There's a question, a van-related question. Pickle, is it essential to swap your van conversion over on the V5, or can you just insure your panel van as a camper and use it?
We're insured as a panel van, basically.
Yeah. If you've got a camper van, you'll have a nightmare getting insurance like I had. I ended up going back with the same company that I was with, but I had to change my V5 and everything over from where it was registered to my mum's and then ring them up and get insurance.
Yeah.
Julia asked, what are your views on the Rothschilds?
And I'm going to let you answer that question.
I haven't got the energy.
You haven't got the energy. Right. Okay.
We've been an hour, so
right.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Nathan. Mayor Amschel Roth. yeah. Here we go.
The tinfoil hat's coming on now. Oh, God.
Right, guys. So, Mayor Amschel Rothschild, during the Battle of Napoleon, he received news from France a full 24 hours back in the UK that the UK had won the war against Napoleon. He walked into the stock market on the morning and started selling all his shares in British industry, any British corporations, companies, or anything like that. And he was selling quite openly. And it panicked everybody in the market. And everybody started selling their shares. Yeah. And then quietly, he secretly started buying the shares back up at pennies on the pound. When the news was received by the stock market that the UK, that England at the time had won the battle against Napoleon in France, yeah, the price of the shares went up through the roof. He'd already bought in at the bottom, and he literally owned England. He owned all of England just overnight, more or less, for the money that he made out of it. Now, that is somebody that tinkers with the stock market. And look what's happened to the economy now. We're in another crash. I do quite a bit of trading on Bitcoin, and, you know, I have a keen vested interest in the markets. The thing is, when you're dabbling in the markets, stock markets, oil, or anything like that, you have a tool that you're able to guess what's going to happen roughly next. And it's called a Fibonacci retracement tool. Now, all the stock markets have been due to crash for the past 10 years. We never got all, we've been in a bear market now since when was it? The 1913 stock crash. So everything's been coming down. It comes down, it goes up 50%, then it comes back down, it goes up 50%, it comes back down, and then it goes. But all the time it's getting lower and lower and lower. And that's the reason why the price of oil is as it is now. It's because of the manipulation that goes on in the stock markets. You know, they'll feed a shitload of bad news out there. They'll panic everybody into selling the shares. The stock market crashes, and then they're sat at the bottom going, buy, 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 buy. And that's how the markets are manipulated, and that's how they work. What do I think of the Rothschilds? I'm going to be quite honest. I don't like what they stand for, but they are fucking geniuses. There's no doubt about that. They are
evil geniuses.
Evil geniuses. Yeah. In one respect, you've got to hate them for the things that they do, but the way that the mind works, and they're just ahead of everybody, way ahead of everybody. So yeah, they're evil geniuses. That's my philosophy.
Well, what's his name on the
You know,
what's his name on In Simpsons? Mr. Smithers is based on Matey Blue Rothschild, isn't he?
Yeah, it is. Mr. Smithers
I didn't
is.
know that.
Oh, what's his name? Not Jay. Is it Jacob? It might
Jacob,
be
yeah.
Yeah, Jacob Rothschild. Yeah,
He's
very
the
much
bloke.
like. Yeah.
He's the bloke. If you can control it, if you can control a nation's money, you control a nation's. Is it control their rules or something?
I cannot. No, if you can control a nation's money supply, I care not who writes its laws. And that was David Rockefeller.
Hi, where away? I've just seen them come in.
Hi, guys.
Anyway, back to the comments, which you've just put like an extra 10 minutes on for me. Thanks, love, with your gob. Right, is Kirsty still starting up her massage business? Asking for a friend. That was Jez. I don't know. I don't have my massage beds. That's in storage. Maybe when we've got a bigger van, I might do. But you never know. If we're on the road, I might do. I don't know. Possibly.
What do you think of the lizard people, and do you believe they are real? We was on about earlier, weren't we?
I think it makes David Icke sound like an absolute nut job, if I'm honest. But I believe a lot of what comes out of his mouth. Somebody else, Matthew, asked what do I think, so I'll tell you what I think.
Go on.
Well, not about the lizard thing, because I think that's just silly, if I'm honest.
Okay.
But with the current situation, like, I don't think with all the numbers, yeah, if they're skewed up, then why, if they haven't got the real numbers, then why are we going through all this like major lockdown? They wanted to protect all of the vulnerable before and put them in self-isolation, which is fair enough because they are at risk. But I think the full-on lockdown that we're experiencing right now is a bit harsh for the tiny little percentage of people that are actually dying. The people that are catching it and actually dying. It's such a tiny percentage that I think it's a bit harsh. And I just think it's a bit of a coincidence that Bill Gates has this vaccine ready to be tested so quick. With most things, it's a case of follow the money. But no, I don't think it's as bad as what the media. I think the media is just making it out to be really, really bad. And this Bill Gates guy is just, I don't like him. I think he's evil.
Well, they say you got to kill the few to gain the many or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there's a lot more going on. We've watched a lot of documentaries lately, haven't we? But with the current situation, that's my opinion on that.
Okay.
I wouldn't go around dangling me granny in front of crowds of people right now, but I would quite happily put myself out there.
I don't know. Save our NHS.
But that was the flattening the curve thing was to save from all the amount of people that were expecting to need to go into hospital. Well, in a lot of places, they've ended up with like empty beds. They've had to lay off nurses because it's just dead.
Yeah, I heard an advert on the radio.
There's only very, very few that are like really busy, rushed off the feet.
I heard an advert on the radio yesterday that, a lot of nurses who had recently left their positions are now being invited to reapply for the jobs. What does that say in itself? The nurses had left the positions. Well, if you think about it, what was it that the NHS owed in debts? 13.4 billion, was it? that it had in debt. Now all that debt's just been written off, which makes the NHS a prime candidate for somebody to buy up as a business. Now, who's buying a lot of British businesses? And that
Who's
question.
buying what? I was reading the
buying
comments. I wasn't listening.
Oh, sorry. Who's buying all the British businesses up now?
Well, you got Newcastle United just been bought by some Middle Eastern company, haven't you?
Right. But, you know, once the economy's crashed and the price of everything's gone down, who's sat there waiting to buy everything back up?
I don't know, China.
There you go. There you go. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. You know, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could be an idea that, you know, China's bought all these businesses in the States. They've been buying a shitload of businesses up in the UK. Are we going to have an NHS that's owned by the CCP?
Don't China own the West? I think China owns the West Coast of America.
Yeah. Yeah,
California,
literally.
they own basically California. So they could basically come there and invade and kill everybody and get off our land because they own it, basically. Because the Americans sold it over. Gold or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just want to say hi, Bearded Bro. Hi, Daz and Kim.
Hi, guys. What's Follow the Sun say?
UK will be controlled by China as we don't have any rules in place from overseas and foreign investments and takeovers.
There you go. Follow the Sun's on it.
Oh, yeah. My sister works in the NHS, in the hospital. She's a cleaner.
Go on.
She says it's not as bad as what people say. She said it's a little bit busier than what it normally is. But most people in there haven't got what they've been told they've got, COVID-19. It's all sorts of things. I mean, I've heard stories about one person one old lady, she had a fall. She hurt her leg. Have you heard this story?
I have.
She hurt her leg, went into hospital. They said, you have to sign this form. He said, what do you mean this form? What is it? And they said that basically it's do not resuscitate. She said, I broke my leg. What do you want? Do not resuscitate. And they said, oh, you need to sign it. And she said, no. Anyway, her family went away. Her GP basically overruled her say so, signed it on her behalf to do not resuscitate. I can't pronounce it. Do not resuscitate. Her family came back in about 6 or 7 hours later. She was dead.
I've heard that one.
So how they got it?
Here's one a little closer to home. Over the last few weeks, we have lost 4 different friends, close friends of the family. Yeah. A couple of them, when they've been into hospital, had their what would normally be life-saving treatment stopped. Okay, they died. And another one went into hospital with suspected Crohn's disease, was taken off his medication for rheumatoid arthritis, which I believe was hydrochloroquine.
Is that the thing that cures COVID-19?
Yeah.
Is that the drug?
Apparently. Or
not been proved,
it's not been proved, yeah. But it was taken off his medication for rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah. He died. They told his wife that, you know, his heart gave way and he died of heart failure, but died of COVID-19, went on to his death certificate. Okay. But none of the rest of his family that he lived with has been affected by it. And that's a friend of the family.
There was
that's sus that, innit?
There was a few comments back from a few different people about their hospitals near them being full or nurses that they know being really busy at the moment. So
Right. The thing is, we don't know because nobody can go in. I've seen there was a guy who'd been banged up for 3 months just recently. He'd gone into a hospital.
Yeah.
And fire away. Tell the story.
He went in filming, didn't he? And then security guard chucked him out and he refused or something. And then they called the police and they had him arrested. And then the next day he's in prison.
Yeah,
Because
but
the new Corona Act says certain things.
yeah, but how many was the hospital packed out with people?
No, it's empty.
Exactly.
There was
You know,
nurses and that just joking and standing there, joking and telling each other jokes.
Yeah. What the fuck's going on?
I got a patron called Finn. He said that in Brighton Hospital it's empty.
There you go. And has he been in? Finn, are you in the house tonight?
He's been in here.
I've not seen him. I know he sometimes pops in.
Yeah, the thing is, we're relying on each other really to tell each other stuff. If you know, because like most people aren't actually leaving the houses. Most people aren't getting about, so you can't actually physically go and see this for yourself. And there's absolutely no way you can trust what the mainstream media says, because they blow it all out of proportion or just lie with the blooming clickbait titles, don't they?
And the thing is, while ever people are searching for that information as they are now, because everybody wants something, something to go on of what's happening.
You're flashing.
What do you want?
You what? Sorry.
You're flashing. That means you're on a bad topic. They're going to boot you off. I get it all the time when it flickers.
All right. I've not noticed.
Was it flickering?
I didn't notice. I can't even remember what I was saying now.
Oh God.
No, that's gone. That's gone.
Someone might remind you.
Yeah, you've got all this, all these false narratives out there, and yeah, that's it. People are, searching for that information, and the more they search, the more the freaking media are coming up with, some more clickbait.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Again, Daily Mirror the other day, they put a post out that, government had said that they're going to get the kids back into schools.
That wasn't true. That was the blooming paper just outright lying there. And do you know what's really annoyed me recently with one of their stories? These fruit picking farms. Well, first thing I saw of it on Facebook, they're saying that all the food's going to be destroyed because there's nobody to do the work, because can't get Europeans over, blah, 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 blah. We need volunteers. So then next thing, I'm seeing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, particularly in the Vanlife groups of people applying for these jobs on farms. Next thing, I don't need the tinfoil hat. I don't need to use anything else to filter it out. I can use my own brain for that. Next thing, they've got people being flown in to do it. And then complaining that, making out that all the Brits are lazy and it's beneath them and all the rest of it. No, there was tons of people applying for these jobs. And then there was another post by someone.
But that turned out that the farmer owned a shitload of property on his own land, that he would rent out to the people that were staying on his farm. So it would pay them their wages and then gather so much back in rent.
Apparently, the job is a lot. There's a lot more skill involved than just a case of picking a strawberry and putting it in a basket. Yeah, so that's why the Brits can't do it.
Yeah, they've got to have highly trained professionals in picking fucking strawberries.
All that did was make the people that are in jobs or have jobs or whatever hate the people that don't have jobs because they're not applying for these ones because they're far too lazy to do them. But that wasn't the case. They're just dividing everybody left, right, and centre in all communities. It's like the full-timers and the part-timers in Vanlife. They're all at each other's throats now because of all this blooming, the locals, they're going to nick our services. There's divides everywhere. That's all the media does, divide people.
And conquer.
Yes.
Sorry, Cheryl.
Anyway, I've had my rant.
Cheryl had made a comment there. I just didn't get the back end of it. Local hospital very full. Ex-NHS worker.
Yeah, she was one of the ones I was on about, but I couldn't find the comments before.
There was another comment before
as well.
that.
His local one's busy with some of his friends that are nurses are rushed off the feet.
£9 an hour to pick fruit. That's if you're English. If you're European, it's probably £4 an hour.
No, I believe what they do, they pay you the £9 an hour, and they pay you the £9 an hour, and then they take so much back off you for renting their property.
Yeah.
You're way behind on these anyway, love.
Do you know what? I don't even think this Brexit thing is going to go about. I don't think it's going to happen. Everyone's forgot about it now, haven't they?
Brexit? What happened there? Oh, that happened the same day that the COVID came out, didn't it?
They don't talk about it ever now, do they? Never ever hear it.
No.
As soon as the news comes on the radio, it's usually something about this virus.
Yeah, but apparently Italy are looking towards leaving as well now. So.
Oh, Cheryl.
It's the end. It's the end of the year.
Yeah, that's right. I was looking for that comment.
She was on Ward 21.
It said 4 ladies died, and then my sister.
I'm not sure. She said they were screaming for breath and help. That sounds awful. Sister said we just came out of hospital.
Yeah, Jinx a 121. I read somewhere that it is it? They call it piecework, don't they? Where the more work you do, the more money you get.
Yeah.
That's what fruit picking is, I think. That's why it's such an early start. I mean, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going back to work now as I am, helping people out with the vans. But a few weeks back, if I'd have seen a post up like that farmers were looking for, fruit pickers, I'd have been on it like a carb on it. I love doing stuff like that, work like that.
Have you actually seen it? It's not actually a field with just strawberries on the ground. They're actually high up on stages, hanging down.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
Tunnel greenhouses.
Yeah. A lot of it's all done in greenhouses, hydroponics, and stuff like that. I used to work in a big local market garden in Stokesley, a place called Bessemer's, and they used to supply a lot of the local trade markets with fruit, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, salad crops mainly. Excuse me, guys, the little one wants a slice of melon. I better not let her play with that sharp knife.
Darren says, good news, I deleted my news app on the iPhone, 3 weeks clear of them now. Are you feeling a bit better mentally now that you don't have that being thrown at you all the time?
That's not sharp.
It's not sharp.
No. It can't cut you. I'm not gonna cut mine.
There we go, pop it.
I was going to say something, I forgot now.
There's lots of comments to.
Oh, look at the time, 2222. Oh, it changed.
I like my numerology.
There you go.
I see 111 a lot, or 1111 all the time.
Today I've seen 1616, 1717, 1919, 2020. And then
Really?
Yeah, I always see it every day.
That's good.
Yeah, I reckon life is the Truman Show.
Yeah, I've often thought about that, mate.
What about the bit at the end where he gets in the boat and then they control the weather and shit? Well, that's telling you that we control the weather, doesn't it? Isn't it?
We're baking in abnormal temperatures at the moment with, where's all the April showers gone?
It's changed. We'll have a summer flooding.
Yeah. You look up in the skies and there's none of them funny chemtrails. They're not doing the stratospheric geoengineering projects at the moment, or there don't seem to be as many going on. I know you mentioned earlier that they've been down there today, but we haven't seen anything like that up here for a few days, a good few days. Whereas before it was happening like all the time. But at the moment, we are literally baking in glorious weather, and there's no cloud cover.
It was 22.5 degrees today where I am.
It's been warm today. Three Musketeers, careful what you're thinking. because your manifesting powers are on point if you're seeing 1111. That's what I believe, anyway.
Kirsty's a spiritual guru now.
That basically, when you see 1111, it basically means you're doing whatever you're doing, carry on doing it, and you'll achieve it. So whatever you're thinking of at the time you see it,
yeah,
you got to go ahead with it.
You have got to be careful with the shit that you're putting in your head, though. Like if you're thinking positive and moving forward and that, brilliant. But if you're on a bit of a negative spiral, then yeah, you'll keep going that way as well.
Have you noticed since you've been living in a van, you feel more happier, less stressed?
I tell you what, when
I definitely did when we were traveling. Since the lockdown, I felt a bit stuck, a bit blank.
I'm enjoying it now.
A bit weird.
All the money I'm saving.
I think you're kind of still out there, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I still drive about, I still do things because
Weird.
like the law I said about. We're classed. The government sees us as homeless. Whether anyone likes it or not. If you live in a van, you're homeless because you haven't got no fixed abode. So, if you read the law, it says homeless people it doesn't apply to.
Is that in the COVID Act?
Yeah, it says it in there, plain and simple.
You did a video about it, didn't you?
Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not true." You know what people are like? They don't like the fact that they got to sit indoors while I'm wandering around.
I'll quote on this. Yeah. This is one that I know off the top of my head.
We aren't, Michael, by the way. We're back north.
Halsbury's Book of Administrative Law. Yeah, this is Uniform Commercial Code. Yeah, which covers Acts of Parliament, bills, and statutes. Yeah. It says in Halsbury's, I know this off the top of my head, and do you know what? When you have it on the tip of your tongue, and then it just goes, oh fuck. An act or statute is a legislative rule of society given the force of law by consent.
Of the governed.
By consent.
Yeah.
If you don't consent, i.e. if you don't give joinder, i.e. you give a copy of your name, your date of birth, and your address, yeah, you've given him joinder. That is his excuse for you entering into a contract where they can read you your rights, and if you listen carefully to what those rights are, anything you say can and will be used against you. So anything that you say, once you've given that information, can and will be used against you.
You missed the magic word towards the end. Do you understand? It means do you stand under my authority?
I stand under my own authority.
What they do is, the way they do it is they tap on your door and say, all right, chap, how you doing? What's your name? That's the way they get you, by being nice. As soon as you tell them your name, game over.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
But they know who you are already before they pull you over because of the registration and everything. They know everything about you.
Yeah.
So you just got to basically get your driving license, put it up against the window and keep your mouth shut. You have the right to remain silent.
Yeah.
But people try and talk themselves out of it, which you're never going to do because this is their job.
When you put your driving license up, make sure your name's covered and your date of birth. Otherwise, you're giving them your joinder.
Oh, no, because you're not talking, are you?
Well,
or you could say I'm deaf and dumb, I'm blind, I don't know what I'm doing.
I fall into the dumb category.
Yeah.
Tim asked, does Purdy and Ant think we should have gone for herd immunity?
We'd have been out of this by now if we had. Yes, I will agree that a lot more people would have died. Yes, I will agree that our hospitals would really have struggled to cope. But it's an awful thing to say. People would have died.
Was what I said before about them just keeping the vulnerable and elderly.
If you'd have kept them locked down,
that would have still calmed things down, though, because the majority of people, sort of between, well, up to the age of 50, they don't need any. The majority of them don't really need any
unless
help,
they've got comorbidities.
Unless there's well, they're classed as the vulnerable.
Yeah.
But a normal, average, healthy person are only getting mild symptoms. Then, yeah, I think I would have said that.
Yeah,
we should have. What do you think, Ant?
You don't want to know what I'm thinking.
Go on, come on. This is your time to shine too.
No, because then we all have a belief. We all have a
We
right to
all
think.
right.
Something.
Yes.
I think it's all bullshit.
The whole
Total
thing.
bullshit. Yeah, people get sick and people die all day long. If you ask the average person on the street how many people do you think die in the UK, I don't know, 40 people, 50 people a day. That's what they go by, don't they? It's more like 800 to 1,000 people a day. Think how many people get born.
10 to
Loads of people
12,000 die per week.
Exactly. People
Well, I looked at the figures for January to April last year and this year. Between 10 and 12,000 a week die.
I think it's just flu on steroids, just boosted a little bit more. That's all I think it is.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with that. If they are so worried about, how many people die each week for, from this COVID, Matt Hancock said the other day, I believe it was Matt Hancock, whatever his name is. He said the other day one of these government, indoctrination, brainwashing speeches that, sorry, let me just go back. If they're that worried about how many people are dying each day, or each week from this virus, Matt Hancock said over 10,000 people a week die in nursing homes. Right? So if they're that worried about people dying, don't put them in fucking nursing homes.
Right. Follow the Sun asked if we have a postal address when travelling before lockdown. Do we have one? Yes, we both have a care of address.
Yes, we do.
So it's just, or if we're away, we have had parcels delivered to friends. Did they say something? If we're away, we do. We'll see if we've got a friend in that area and we'll get stuff delivered there as well. Check out Vincent Vendetta. Telling the truth of the mask on his news is mind-blowing. Thanks, Kev. We'll have a look at him.
Also, check out, what is it? TikTok Vic.
TikTok Vicky's so funny. I've just started watching it. Something else I've been watching today is really funny as well. Angry Yoga. 22 minutes angry yoga. It's like 2-minute videos of this woman doing yoga and she just venting as she and do the reach up. Oh, what was the one where she and talking about like the situation at the moment and down, like you're just giving up and giving into the world and having a and breathe that out. She's ranting about men and all sorts.
Yeah, she's not as good as TikTok Vic though. Check out TikTok Vic on YouTube, guys. He was absolutely hilarious.
Brilliant. It was brilliant. Got to have a laugh.
Oh dear.
Can we talk about something else instead of this crap?
Yeah, go on, fire away, Matt. Bring up a subject.
Yeah, go on.
Except that one that involves the new cell towers.
Oh,
not that one. Let's Angry Ram. What's that, Tim? Steady 9. Are these other channels? Hi, Kerry.
9 Elland. Naked yoga on YouTube.
There is actually naked yoga on YouTube.
Hi, Christina.
Martin
anything not to do with what? With Ant's bullshit and metalhead rubbish. It's not bullshit, Matt. It's not bullshit.
I can't say the word sheep, can I? Oops. Narrow-minded. Simpleton.
No, it's not narrow-minded, mate. It's not sheep or anything like that. We're all on different paths at different times, and some people see the world in different perspectives. I see the world through my experience, and that's given me my perception. Martin's probably had, a really good experience of the world, and he sees everything in a different light. You know, maybe his government and all these big corporations might have been out there and helped him in the past. You know, you don't know what makes people arrive at their own perceptions of how they see the universe in which they live.
No, we can't talk about that tower thing, Darren. Paddy don't want us to.
You get censored.
You do, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Videos were moved.
You know, as things are at the moment with YouTube, you mention that word or that number and that letter, then you get your channel taken down. And you know, we've spent an awful lot of time and effort doing all our videos. There are at the end of the day, they're a video log for our family. You know what I mean? They're a video diary for our family, our friends, for us, and everything like that. You know, all a lot of happy memories. And if we get this channel taken down, then all that information is gone, and that would be soul destroying.
We have to be so careful.
So we have to be very careful. And
but yeah, we didn't want to not say anything.
Yeah.
So like
Jim said about Stonehenge. I drove past Stonehenge the same 2 days after the lockdown started, and it was all barricaded off and everything.
Wow.
And Stonehenge still had the security guards walking about.
It's mad. It's absolutely fucking mad. All the beaches from Grimsby down to Boston in Lincolnshire, a lot of the access has been closed to the beaches. They've put Harris fencing up, you know, to stop cars getting anywhere near the beaches. You know, that's fucking public land for us. And they're barricading it. Ooh. Sorry. I nearly went on a TikTok Vic then, didn't I?
Don't worry, Martin. We usually get about 8, 9, 10. I think we got 11 thumbs down on a live once, didn't we?
Yeah. So
I usually get about 5 or 6. Yeah.
More than a video.
If you want to give us a thumbs up, guys, it'd be appreciated.
Oh, that would
or
be
a
nice.
thumbs or a thumbs down, whichever. We're not bothered. You know, thumbs up, thumbs down, one or the other.
Back to the usual Boondocker stuff tomorrow night, because I did say earlier, I don't know if anyone caught, but there's something wrong with my memory card reader, so I can't edit a video until I get one delivered, and I think it's coming next Tuesday or Thursday or something. So we'll do lives until I get my laptop sorted. Not my laptop, until I can edit a video again.
And if anybody else wants to come on to one of these lives and join in with the conversation, shout out now, guys. Anybody in there wants to come and join us? What about one man and his whippet? Is he still in here?
No, he won't be in here. Bloody hell, it's 20 to 11. Van
Dad will be in bed. He'll have gone to bed by now.
Your SD card, whatever it is you use, is it a micro SD card?
No, it's the bigger one.
And don't say put it in the side of the computer, because that doesn't fucking work either.
We can't put them in the side of the computer. There's not a hole in the one I use, I don't think. But it's the reader. I plug it in, and it just won't register on the computer anymore. It was always dodgy, though. I'd have to hold it in a certain angle to get the videos off and onto the laptop.
You can buy a USB converter for them.
I've ordered.
I think I've just pooed my pants.
Oh, you're disgusting.
No, I haven't really.
I've ordered some off eBay. It was only like £4, but it's just taking ages for anything to get delivered. So
yeah, I'm still waiting on.
We'll just do lives until it happens anyway.
Darren, well done for getting those spuds in, matey. 6 to 8 weeks, you should be able to get a good salad crop out of them.
Yeah.
David heading to Oakhampton on Friday for work. Dying to see the Buckfast Abbey. Go for it, mate. Make the most of your journey. Nick May, you join us on the live stream?
Cool.
Right, well, we'll be on tomorrow night. What time? 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
8 o'clock tomorrow night, guys.
8 o'clock tomorrow.
And, you know, we'll just see where the conversation goes. Tonight's was deliberately set up to, having a bit of a rant at the mainstream.
Thomas said you're all right to poop your pants. You're at that age. That's getting pinned.
Stick that one up.
That's getting pinned.
Everyone wanted me to rant tonight, but I did all the ranting when we did the test earlier.
Yeah, we did a test earlier, and it was only meant to be a quick 5-minute test. They were on here for about 2 hours ranting at each other.
We weren't ranting.
No, they weren't really ranting. It was actually a nice, intelligent conversation. Well, we were getting into all sorts, like evolution and dinosaurs and all sorts of stuff, spirituality. Yeah. It was cool.
We've exhausted the conversation for tonight. That's what it is, Anne.
We've already spoke about it all.
I don't know.
DeSalza, Mum said to him...
Everything's always better off the cuff, though, isn't it?
Yeah. DeSalza's mum said to him, went out tonight, if he's not in bed by 10, he has to go home. Will said he would join us in a live stream as well. So, yeah, guys, anybody that wants to join us tomorrow night, then, we'll get one of these set up. And
yeah, you'll have to email me or something, and then I can send you the link to join it.
Rome from home.
Yeah.
It's gone.
The hair's gone.
It's all gone.
He had a Britney moment.
You're like a thug now.
Do you know what? I've got a question for Ant, actually.
Fire away.
What do you eat in a day?
Oh, I knew that was
your fruitarianism thing. Like, what exactly do you eat?
Oh, burgers and chips.
Do you have to eat loads of fruit, like a full punnet of berries and things, and it must be expensive.
It's actually cheap.
Is it?
Yeah, I go shopping twice a week. I go on a Monday and a Friday. On a Monday, I'd usually spend about £48 for 2 people. Then on a Friday, it'd probably be something like £25 to £30 just to cover the weekend. You remember, I buy coconut water, which is £2.50 a carton. I get 2 of those every time, so that's £10 already a week gone on just coconut water. And then I buy bottled water as well. These are about £1.10 each. I go through about 4 of these a week. So, what are these, 5 litres?
So just on drinks, it's what, 15 quid?
Roughly.
Because we probably spend about 50, 60 quid for us to drink. just eating normal foods. We try and eat 1 big meal a day, and we snack through the day, really. We don't really have 3 meals a day, do we? Well, Kaylin does, but we don't.
The problem with fruit is, in a van, it gets hot in a van, so it starts going rotten really quick. So things like raspberries, strawberries, the day you bought them, you got to eat them, because if you don't, the next day you wake up, they got fur on them.
Yeah.
Like blueberries. Blueberries.
You've done research into it, but what about all these? You're getting everything that your body needs by eating just fruit.
Yeah, go on to a YouTube channel called Dr. Morse. Robert Morse, ND.
Right.
He's got a clinic in, call it a clinic, I suppose. He's got one in Florida. He cures, you can't use the word cure because they lock you up. He basically heals all these people by putting them on like a great fast diet and stuff. So you got people that were terminally ill with cancer, told they got 2 months to live, go home and sort out their finances because Big Pharma's given up on them.
Yeah.
He's got them, cured them, and 5 or 6 years later, they're writing letters saying, "Thank you, I'm still alive," and things like that. And there was one bloke, he had an accident. He did a parachute jump, and when he come down, he opened it too late, his parachute.
Yeah.
He hit trees, a canopy of trees, and he fell and hit the trees, landed on the floor. He lived, but he was paralyzed from the neck down. Within a year of just eating fruit juices and stuff, drinking fruit juices and working his muscles on things. Obviously, he can't move, so they're moving him with muscles for himself. Within a year, they actually got him going like that with his arms again, got him with his arms, his nervous system regrowing. because
Bloody hell.
what modern medicine don't tell you is your nervous system will regrow.
Mm.
I'm a
Yeah,
I believe that, but it's
did
true.
human biology at college, and yeah, as far as I knew, the nervous system, once that's gone, that's gone.
I'm a big believer in the body being able to heal itself, and that's from
Oh yeah.
my own experience. But anyway, while we're on the subject of food, yeah, I once went to a local farm for a job, and when I pulled up there, I says to him, I said, so I've come about this job that's being advertised. He says, oh yeah. He says, well, what experience have you got? I says, well, I've got plenty of farming experience, but before you give me the job and before I start, I've just got to tell you that when I get here in the morning at 7:30, I'd like 2 rounds of toast and a full cooked breakfast. Then around about 10 o'clock, I'll settle for a couple of crumpets and, a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Then at lunchtime, I'd be happy enough with, like a salady snack or something like that. Maybe, a ham sandwich and some salad and all the rest of it. I said, but then at 3 o'clock, I'd like, a nice, decent meal to, get me sustained for the rest of the day. Something like roast beef, Yorkshire puddings, something that's really going to fill me out. And then I said to him, so have I got the job? He says, no, but I'll give you £2 a bucket for your shite.
Oh, God.
That was good.
Please tell me that was a joke. Yeah. God.
Sorry.
Topper, I've heard of these caffeine enemas, like with coffee. I've heard of them. There's so many different, like, weird health things, isn't there?
You got to be careful on some of them.
I know the pH diet, that's supposed to be really good. That Dr. Sebi, he finished up in an American court.
You
didn't
know
he?
about Dr. Sebi then? You'll have.
Yeah, he's
you'll have
definitely now.
Yeah.
He finished up in a court, in a high court in America, because he actually claimed that he'd cured cancer through eating healthy foods. And he finished up with Big Pharma coming down on top of him. Not Big Pharma as in the big pharma with a tractor, the big pharmaceutical companies. They were trying to come down on top of him and persecute him for saying you can't say that, that this has cured cancer and all the rest of it. And he took, I think it was about 80 odd of his patients in who had all been diagnosed as terminal. So he took them in as witnesses to the court, and his case got absolutely kicked out because he presented the evidence.
Yeah, but his diet was very restrictive.
He didn't do fruits and stuff like that
because
because fruits contain sugar and yeast, which feeds cancer cells.
It was particular fruit.
Nah, that's the wrong sort of sugar. Totally wrong sort of sugar.
Fructose.
The native plants, no hybrids.
Yeah,
he used hemp, didn't he?
He used hemp an awful lot. He didn't use the terminology of cannabis, but that's what he was using.
Oh, no, Jez. The Beautiful Truth. Topper, is that on Netflix or will I find it on YouTube? Yeah, you're right there, Three Musketeers. They make a lot of money out of it.
Nerdy, is he the bloke that cured HIV as well, AIDS? With,
I believe he is, yes, yeah.
Plants,
yeah. Three Musketeers. That's a very profound quote. That is. I can't remember the exact figures, but an oncologist in the US gets paid a kickback, or basically gets paid a commission for every time he diagnoses. I bet that was an interesting view for the camera.
Oh God! What did I flash there? Oh, the Beautiful Truth. I'm going to write that.
Sorry,
one
that's
down.
just thrown me totally. 1939 Cancer Act used here to stop people from marketing cancer cures. that isn't from Big Pharma. David Noakes is an example.
What's your diet, Topper?
David Noakes, I believe it was Nigel, the Barbel Basher. He put me onto him. Kerry, I love weed as well. I've not had on any for months.
We haven't had any for a while.
I could really, I could just do with a nice big fat one.
Closest I got to weed was the CBD.
If anybody wants to email me and drop me a couple in an envelope and send it on, I'd be most happy.
I'll tell you what, I have noticed that if I whenever we have a cooked breakfast, bit greasy, I feel like absolute shite. If I eat too much bread, I feel like absolute shite. So I want to tweak my diet a little bit and see what's good and what's not.
Do you want to?
What are you after, Mrs.?
She's protesting.
What are you protesting about?
Keeping her awake.
Has it gone off? Has it died? It can't.
Has it died?
It's not died, otherwise the signal will be gone on here. I better go and sort her out. That's going to be
yeah. She
might
want a drink.
So yeah, those that don't believe my story about this bloke which was paralysed from the neck down, and he got him walking and that again in the end, go see his channel. He's got proof. He's got letters. He shows people. He talks about it. There's another one. There's a woman that had MS. He cured her off. Well, he can't say cure. He healed her. People go to read the comments, the comment sections of the videos.
Has anybody heard of Greg Braden?
I've heard of him. Who's he again?
He's that white-haired guy that sometimes appears with David Wilcox and a few other of the spoofy channels.
Keep tripping over your blooming tinfoil hat.
Greg Braden, he was involved in an experiment where there was Chinese energy healers who they were doing a hands-on healing, on a tumor, which was it was basically done like as a live broadcast, so you could see the tumor on whether it was an MRI or some kind of imaging. Yeah, and these people were like chanting around this person and hands on and stuff like that, and they were focusing on the tumor, and the tumor that was there, they made it disappear, and you could see that happening via whether it was X-ray or magnetic resonance imaging or something like that.
Oh, nice one, Julia.
So from my own experience, I smashed my back up in 1995, and when I landed at the bottom of the stairs, I literally lost the feeling from like solar plexus down over, and I was in a really bad way for a very long time. And if the doctor hadn't have said to me, the chances are you'll never walk again, I don't think I'd have developed the mental attitude that I had at that time to be able to say nobody's going to tell me what I can and can't do. And I believe my mindset was a big thing in me being able to get out of a wheelchair and stay out of a wheelchair. I think in all, I spent 18 months working my way out of a wheelchair and staying out of it. So yeah, I do believe, and with my neck as well. A lot of people in here will remember that I was suffering really bad with my neck last year, and it's only my mind. I believe it's my mindset that's pushed that pain to the back of my mind, and I've focused beyond it. And I feel
you've not complained about it for ages.
I still get a stiff neck, but it's like. It's
like
that bloody abscess.
Daily thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like that abscess, it niggles for a time, but I've got the mindset to be able to go, it'll go away.
You still got that? Away.
You what, sorry?
You still got the abscess?
Yeah, I got an abscess.
Hi, Zero.
I've got 2 loose teeth actually, mate. They could do with being pulled out, but not much chance of getting anywhere near a dentist these days, is there?
Cost a fortune anyway. It was about 80 quid last time.
Yeah, I've got 2 teeth that need pulling out. It's going to cost 160 quid. I'd rather just wait until they drop out.
Yeah, I paid 120
I do keep rinsing. I keep rinsing and, you know, having to go with this colloidal silver, and that knocks it off for a couple of weeks, you know, and then it'll kind of flare up again. And, you know, I just keep.
You need stronger colloidal silver.
Repeat. You are,
how many parts per million is silver?
Oh, I don't know. I've never counted them. I just do it. I do an approximate 30-minute burn, 30 to 45 minutes burn.
Yeah. If you're buying it from off the shelf.
No, I make it myself.
I was gonna say you need it so that it actually goes black, so it's like 100 parts per million.
Yeah, it is. It's like a bluey purple grey colour when I have it.
Yeah. What water are you using?
Yeah. You what? Sorry.
What water are you using?
I know you should use distilled, but what I do is filter the water first, then boil it in the kettle, which gets rid of most of the minerals. Leave it to stand for 24 hours and then use the water. But ideally, I should make a still and you know, use distilled water.
You can make it.
I've tried it with distilled water before, and quite honestly, it made me feel sick.
Yeah, I used to make colloidal copper.
You used to what? Sorry, cucumber?
No, I mean,
What did he say?
I used to make colloidal copper.
Colloidal copper.
Oh,
All right.
But if you drink just more than a teaspoon of that, it'll bring it straight back up. Because the body says it is a foreign thing. You say you have to keep it in your mouth, because if anything that touches your tongue gets absorbed into the bloodstream within 20 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
Or
up the bottom.
Yeah, that's what they do for epilepsy, isn't it?
It's true though, isn't it?
Oh, up the nose as well, isn't it?
Right, I didn't know about the nose.
Yeah, that's why they snort cocaine, isn't it? It's the quickest way.
Yeah.
Darren, what have we confirmed?
It was Ant's Vanlife channel.
All right. You got yourself another subscriber there, dude. Look after him because he's one of our favourites.
He is.
I don't know.
What was that? Mentally escalating my condition.
12 subscribers.
Oh yeah. Oh, well done, guys.
Oh, nice one.
Please, you know.
You can enjoy some of Ant's rants over there now.
Yeah.
If you're negative, I'll delete you. Simple as that. No shit on my channel. I'm not like these. I won't say, oh, yeah, I'll keep you. I'll just fucking ban you.
I tell you one of the big things that I like about Ant.
Silver.
He doesn't have a filter. Do you, Ant?
No, it's fake, isn't it? I'd say it as it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no filter.
There's no filter there. The guy says it exactly how it is.
I never used to be like it. I used to be like, oh, yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Someone said boo. I go, oh. But nowadays, what's the point? Just say it as it is. I've learned that if you hold back, people will take the piss and walk all over you.
Yeah, they do. Definitely.
Ants rants top class. What?
There you go.
You'll enjoy tomorrow's video. Trust me, it's about vaccines.
Excellent. Are you going to give us a bit of a spoiler, or are you going to make us all wait and? I'll tell you what, mate. Make us all wait, and then everybody in here will be going over tomorrow to your channel to give it a watch and a thumbs up, won't you guys?
What time are you posting it?
Between 7:45 and 8 o'clock usually.
Oh,
brilliant.
Well, yeah. They might be able to watch it before our live then.
Oh. Yeah, it's not very long. I think it's like 8 minutes. I haven't rendered it or done anything yet. I'll do it in the morning. I always edit my videos in the morning when I get up.
What time are we at, love?
It's bang on 11.
Yeah.
About.
And is no filter as long as you're a lefty. I don't do left and right. I'm not a politics little knob. I just keep it real.
This is it. This is Anne.
But look at it this way: if you keep going left, you go all the way around the world and you come back right, don't you?
You do, mate. You keep going fucking left.
If you go right, you come back left.
Yeah, you keep going left, you'll go around in a circle. You've got to stay middle of the road. No left, no right.
Like you was on about in America, you got me right now. I'm really pissed off. Like in America, you got the Democrats. They're supposed to be for democracy. What are they doing?
That's the deep state.
Exactly. You got the liberals.
Inverse. It's all inverse.
You got the liberals in this country. What were they doing when it come to Brexit?
Let me see if I can put a link in. I don't know if I can.
I don't know. What were the Liberals doing at that time, Murty? I don't remember hearing an awful lot about them.
Wasn't it Joe Swinton or somebody?
Never heard of them.
Joe Swinton, she was back in Europe. She wanted us to stay in Europe.
Well, that didn't work. Oh, actually, it probably did. You know, this is just a big distraction for everybody to go, oh, European Union, we need you. We don't want to leave. Please take the COVID away.
People don't understand. These are just actors. They come and they go.
Oh, yeah. Same hand, different puppet.
Exactly. No one go. I mean, when people go to London and they do protesting doesn't work. That's why it's legal.
Matt,
They look out the window and they laugh.
I'll tell you a story about the time that we went to London to protest. We camped out in Finsbury Square Garden for a night, didn't we, love? We went to the Occupy protest in 2011. Yeah, basically to protest against banker bailouts. You know, we thought the banks had had enough of the taxpayers' money and they didn't deserve any more. But, you know, here we are, like 10 years, 8 years later, 9 years later, and they're still taking money out of the taxpayers' pocket. But when we went down there, we didn't get any hassle, little bit of kettling and, you know, being forced in one direction when you wanted to go another and all the rest of it. But anyway,
I'm having a second wind. 1, 2, 3. We've had a lift off.
Anyway, when I got back up here, I was on a local farm, which I got permission for, you know, hunting and rabbiting on and what have you. And one of my dogs put a hare up and it went running straight across the field over a little narrow country road that probably says about 20 cars in 24 hours. Coming down this road was a cop car. So he pulled up, or should I say, the dog made him pull up as he slammed his brakes on. The dog just ignored him and kept going after the hare. And I went walking over to him. I got my 2 bairns with me, my 2 lads. And anyway, he shouted me over. I thought, oh, crying out loud, here we go. Although I could have gone down the avenue of not giving him the joinder and anything like that. But, you know, I was like, do I have to give him my name? And I was like, I got the kids with me. I didn't fancy going and spending a couple of days in a cell while, you know, the kids were sent back to the mothers. So I gave him my name and he gets on his radio and he puts my name over the radio. And he sort of put the radio down and he looked at me and smiled. And he said to me, he says, and bearing in mind, you know, we were Occupy protesting in London and I was back up in Yorkshire. He put the radio down and he smiled at me. He went, did you enjoy the Occupy protest? I was like, oh, here we go. I says, it doesn't surprise me. I says, you know, don't think I didn't know that I wouldn't be getting photographed while I was down there or anything like that. And he turned around and he says, look, he says, I can understand what you've done. He says, and I agree with your principles. But do you know that now, because you've been down to that protest in 2011, yeah, and this was 2-3 years afterwards when he pulled me over, he says, do you realise that now you're categorised as a domestic terrorist?
Yeah.
That's what for having a voice and an opinion.
Oh, you've done it again.
Well, they do it through social media as well, don't they? They watch videos and then they put you in a category.
Still here.
What the hell?
You've turned it. Oh, the battery's gone dead.
The battery's dead. That's no better. Hang on. I'll just go and... I'm going to have to plug that in. Take that out.
Technical issue.
Take that
The
out.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove?
That's the giant owl thing, isn't it, or something? They do sacrifices and all that.
Yeah, where the...
Skull and crossbones and all that.
Where the political elites of the US and all the rest of the world go and worship Moloch, isn't it?
Yeah. That's where Alex Jones got in and recorded it.
He did? He did indeed.
I think he's controlled opposition.
We do, Topper.
Oh, that's not having it. What the?
Is it?
You need permission to do nearly anything, Jinx has said. And do you know what? In the olden days, I'm on about like 1500s, fishing was seen as hunting. Now you've got to have a license to do it.
Not for the sea.
No, not for the sea, but I mean like in the rivers and stuff.
Yeah.
Which they don't even clean the rivers out. That's why there's so many bloody floods.
Well, sorry guys, we've gone dark.
That's really annoying.
The Environment Agency, they collect, I think it's about £25 per rod for 2 rods for a fishing license. And you would think that, that money that they collect would go back into keeping, the rivers clean and everything like that. It doesn't. It goes straight into the, chief executive of the Environment Agency's back pocket. And a small amount of it gets allocated towards keeping the rivers clean and, restocking with salmon and trout and stuff like that.
Yeah. My uncle used to work for the Environment Agency.
Corporations that are set up, they're there to these licenses are designed to take money from the people and line the coffers and the back pockets of the people that own the corporations. It's sad, it's fucked up, but what can we do about it?
Apparently, my uncle used to work for the Environment Agency. He worked for them for 40 years. They used to be called Thames Water.
Somebody called me Daft Purdy.
Yeah.
They used to come under Thames Water in the area where I live.
Don't walk at the same time, otherwise it doesn't.
Anyway, he says the reason why they don't clean out the rivers is because the government's told them not to clean out the rivers, keep it natural wildlife and stuff. They only to clean out streams, big rivers that got to be left.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, they're building on floodplains. Well, that water's got to go somewhere.
Well, the thing is, like years back, and I mean years back, you'd have forests lining river valleys. Yeah. And I'm talking, when I say river valleys, I'm talking like way upstream, in the tributaries where the water literally comes down off the side of the hills and the mountains. You'd have forests, and those forests would absorb, the trees would absorb millions of gallons of water, right? But what have they done? They've deforested the valleys, so all the water drops on the top of the hills now. It runs straight down the valleys, straight down the rivers, bang, flood.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went to Wales, they cut a lot of trees down there.
It's sad, mate. If everybody had, I'm not saying I'm a freaking angel or anything like that, but if everybody looked after the environment the same as I look after it, I'll go out now. I think nothing about picking other people's rubbish up in lay-bys and, anything like that. Anything to improve my environment. Kirsty's the same. I'm sure you're the same. Just about every van lifer that I know, they've all, in fact, I've only met one who's left rubbish. And that was after Liam's do, where somebody threw shit paper in the back of the fucking hedge behind our van. Yeah, exactly. That was fucking disgusting. Yeah, but every other van lifer that I know, you know, we all have some concern for the environment. We all do our little bit for the environment. And what's the point? Because you've got them twats right at the top that are, you know, piling out tons and tons of pollution into the rivers, poisoning the fish.
Follow the sun.
It all goes downstream. It flows into the sea. You know, you've got hermaphrodite frogs that, you know, because they're all poisoned with BPA. Oh, mate. Makes you wonder, what's the fucking point?
There's a river canal section near me out by Oxford. A place called Kidlington, well, Bletchington it's called. Have you heard of Blue Circle Cement?
I have, yes.
Right, well, this is where they used to do Blue Circle Cement, but it's not that anymore. Not that I know anyway. But it's still a quarry, so they're still mining that there. And they've got a pipe that runs straight out of this quarry. It goes straight into the river, and the water that comes out of it is white. It goes straight into the river. Yeah. What's that white stuff?
That white stuff will more than likely be lime. That's stripped.
The trees, all the trees in the area within like a mile radius are just completely white. Everything's just white.
Yeah. Well, there's a river that's maybe it's about 5-6 miles from us. Yeah, called the River Leven. There are quite a lot, or there used to be quite a lot of trout in it. What we used to do years back when we wanted to take the trout out of the river, was we would buy a bag of lime. And we would go upstream of, you know, a trout lie, and we would tip the lime in the water. It doesn't do any permanent damage, all right? We would tip the lime into the water, and what would happen, it would deplete the water of oxygen. All the fish used to come belly up, and then we'd go with a landing net, scoop them all out. The fish weren't dead. It just, you know, asphyxiated them to a certain point where they just floated belly up on the surface. And that's what lime does. It strips the water. It strips the water of oxygen. It only lasts for so long, if you know what I mean. 500 yards or something like that. But you know, we could go out and we could get 40 or 50 good sized trout by doing that, and then we used to sell them fish for.
Here you go. Look, Blue Circle quality assured mortar, compromising cement, specialist grade sand, lime, and admixtures.
I am.
You what? Sorry.
But I am not.
What's he looking at there?
What did you say there, Ant? Sorry.
Oh, it says it's compromising cement, specialist graded sand, lime, and admixtures.
Yeah.
So it's the lime. That's what's coming out.
Yeah. Timony.
Sorry, why would the government pump out lime?
No, we're not on about government pumping out lime. We're on about corporations putting lime into the cement company, Blue Circle Cement Company, emptying their pollution out into the river. But they do it, you know, on a massive scale, and it depletes the water. So it's not the government, mate. It's Blue Circle Cement. Topper, Building 7. Straight away, as soon as I saw that comment there, Building 7, I know what you're on about. WTC 7. You know that one, Ant, don't you?
Well, the one where the BBC said it had fallen and it stood behind her.
Oh, yeah!
there was a bloke that got taken.
How can you believe the narrative of the main? It brings us right back to the beginning. How can you believe the narrative that the mainstream media put out when you take into account WTC 7? We've just had news that the World Trade Center 7 has fallen to the ground. It's behind you. You what, mate?
There's a bloke, the BBC took him to court because he refused to pay a TV license, but he still watched TV. And he actually admitted, yeah, I watched TV. And they took him to court and they said, what are you going to do? Why are you not going to pay your TV license? And he said, this is why. And he gave him this tablet with a video on it. He said, watch that. And they said, and they basically played it back, and he said that's why, because the woman was saying that Building 7 had fallen and it was still stood behind her. He said that's why, because it's not real, it's fake news. But he got away. The judge actually let him get away with it. I think if anyone tried it now, they wouldn't get away with it.
But you said something before, and why wouldn't lack of oxygen kill the fish? Just knock them out? No way. What were you talking about before?
No,
no, we haven't run out of power. It's the power pack.
what we used to do, SG, was tip a bag of lime into the river. Yeah, it didn't deplete enough of the oxygen to be able to totally kill the fish. Yeah, for about 500 yards, the fish had come up to the surface. They'd be sort of gasping for air. We'd net them, and they were still gasping. Once they got beyond that 500 yards and back into, fresh water, they were breathing again, and they just, you could go to them if you were at the end of the run. You could go to them with the net, and they would slip you, and they'd be away. So it didn't kill them outright. It just depleted enough of them. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would like to see it, but if I held Kirsty like that for long enough and give it a good squeeze, she'd pass out. She'd pass out before she actually died. And I'd probably finish up with a knee in the nuts as well.
You'd get more than a knee in the nuts.
Purdy's turn.
Did we go to the moon?
And did we go to the moon?
Hitler went to the moon.
Hitler went to the moon.
What?
Facts. He had technology, didn't he? What do you think?
Glock. Die Glock.
Yes.
Go onto YouTube and do the research on Die Glock and Operation Paperclip. That was when the Americans, at the end of World War II, they took all the Nazi scientists and the Nazi rocket scientists, they took them back over to America and gave them a new identity, somewhere to live, but they had to work for NASA, not Nazi. What's that?
Vernon Van Braun.
Yes.
He said they're going to play. He said the last card they're going to play after the terrorists is the alien attack.
You reckon?
That's what they're going to use to put weapons into space. Well, look at Donald Trump saying he wants to create a space force. Well, they've already got a space force.
Oh yeah, he was celebrating that last night in one of his speeches.
Yeah, but they've already got this stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Think we're like 30, 40, 50 years behind what they've probably got in the deep
possibly
state.
Even more, mate. Possibly even more. I mean, I've heard you can't prove it, but I've heard rumors about, like you mentioned earlier on today, jump rooms, where time and space are literally bent onto each other, and you can go into a different time zone. I'm talking time travel. We'll never be able to prove it, but hey ho, you never, on some stuff like that, there's not enough evidence. But on the stuff that we've been chatting about tonight, if you do the research, and you just go out there and you look for the information, it's there, it's right in front of your face.
So you got people that say we can't get from this galaxy to that galaxy because it'll take 2 light years to get there, but they're thinking in a 3D reality. You got to think extraterrestrials. This whistleblower said that when they recovered a crashed aircraft, which they shot down with radar, right? They took it down. That's what Roswell was all about. They took it down. It didn't crash. I mean, something's not going to travel millions of light years, is it? And then crash when it lands on Earth. It's not happening. Well, they took it down. And it took it down. When they back engineered it, it had all these things where you put your hands in, there's no steering wheel, there's nothing. And it turned out that they used the power of thought to control the vehicle, which took them through different dimensions. They could just go from one to another. And that's why when you see UFO videos, you see the light in the sky, then all of a sudden it just blinks off and then it'll blink back. That's it, coming in and out of different dimensions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
And that's what ghosts do. Ghosts go from different dimensions. Some people can see them, some people can't.
I've not seen a ghost, but I'm sure I've seen.
I've had an
sky before.
I've had a freaking freaky experience. When we were in Wales, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got out of the van. Me and her had a little bit of an argument. Yeah, and I got out of the van. Went to go and calm down, and when I got out of the van, it felt like the entire forest had suddenly grown 1,000 eyes and was watching me. The hairs on the back of my neck were standing up. Yeah, and I thought, I'm not staying out here. I feel really uncomfortable. And you might laugh. So I got back in the van. I was only outside the van for a couple of minutes.
He never gets scared.
And I don't get scared. Nothing like that bothers me.
All paranormal stuff.
Yeah, but I felt, physically threatened. And I got back in the van, right? And the following morning, I went over to go and see Sean and Daryl. They were in Sean's van. And Sean turned around to me. He says, "Fucking hell, old boy." He says, "I didn't like being out there last night."
He's Welsh, by the way.
Fucking freaky it was. Gave me the fucking fright of my life. And I didn't even say anything, but he picked up the same energy as what I was picking up. So, yeah.
Tim says, what are the flat earthers trying to divert our attention from?
Tim, right. Imagine you've got all these so-called conspiracy theorists or truth movement, right? What's the best way to discredit them? Yeah, nice one, Ant.
That time of night.
Of discrediting a conspiracy theorist is to put a theory out there that the Earth's flat, that the fucking whackhead conspiracy theorists get to grips with and go, oh yeah, it could be actually. So the flat Earth conspiracy, is directed at conspiracy theorists to make conspiracy theorists or truthers look like fucking nutters.
Thomas Davenport says there are 11 dimensions. Just saying. That was when you were talking about it.
Thomas, how do we know that there's only 11?
Quantum
entanglement, string theory, and everything like that. There could be multiple universes. We just don't know. We haven't got the science and the technology to be able to discover in reality those other dimensions.
And our science is backwards. When they actually come out with the truth that what's it called, the thermodynamic laws and all that bullshit. Yeah, you can create free energy. You can pull free energy out of the sky, literally, with special machines.
Well, Tesla, for example, that man hadn't sussed. But
SGW says you two must be so highly qualified to be so expert in so many different fields. Others take a lifetime to study one.
Pin it.
I can't find it on the...
Yeah, stick funny. It up, pin it. Find it and pin it. SJ, yeah. Oh dear, that was hilarious, mate. That was absolutely hilarious.
I get most of my shit from the bloody Stephen Greer and David Wilcox and all that stuff.
Stephen Greer, now I don't know if I trust that guy, quite honestly.
Nor do I, not when he's briefing the CIA directors and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You know how, yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
But then you've got David Wilcox. He's got all these so-called whistleblowers, and he repeats the same shit over and over again. I mean, he says that Atlantis was Antarctica.
Yeah. Oh, who was that guy? That colonel that flew over Antarctica. Admiral Byrd, that was it. Yeah, you know, he said that he flew over some parts of Antarctica, and you know, down beneath him there was fresh water running, Greenland, and everything like that, animals running about. But you know, we'll never get to know for definite, will we?
Well, apparently they've lost something like 100 meters of ice. It's dropped 100 meters of ice. They've got plants growing through it and everything now. Certain parts.
Yeah.
But it's all militarized, isn't it? No, not everyday person can go there unless you've got a lot of money.
Julia Dowes, yeah, it is mad, isn't it? When you look out into the sky above, there are more stars out there than what there are grains of sand on a beach. That is unfreaking believable when you think about it. And to think that we're the only life form in all that, you know, in the entire solar system, universe, or anything like that, you know, that is ignorance on our behalf, and it would be an awful waste of space.
Yeah,
David Lamont, sorry, Ant, go on.
It's because we want to think that we're the only ones out there. It's ignorance, isn't it?
It is.
We're the only ones. We're the greatest.
Yeah. That's
if they're going to use that theory of, if they're going to use the theory of aliens are out there, they're going to attack us. Look at it like this, yeah. It's like you going to the bottom of your garden and pouring hot water on an ant's nest. That's basically the mentality of it all.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be super intelligent compared to us. If they can travel across solar systems, we can't barely leave the planet.
Yeah.
And they would have killed us all by now anyway.
If they had ill intent towards us, yeah, I believe that they would. David Lamont, Purdy, you mentioned the dog star Sirius before and the Dogon tribe. Yes, I do know of the Dogon tribe. I know bits about. I'm not going to say that I know an awful lot about it.
I don't know how far you are.
That relates to the ancient astronauts, doesn't it?
Oh, you on about Syrians?
Two alien greys on YouTube. Oh, I've not seen that one, Topper.
The alien greys are not real. They're synthetics. They're not real. They're created.
You reckon?
They're the workers for a race of beings. People, this is definitely fucking tinfoil hat stuff now. They're basically they're basically the workers for something called mantids. The mantid species. They're highly intelligent but fragile, apparently. This is all the shit I've got from like all sorts of crap. I used to be into ufology really, really, really bad. I used to go out with night vision scopes and stuff and film UFO flying through the sky. You shouldn't really call them UFO because they're not unidentified. They're there. You've identified them.
Yeah.
I was into all the CE5 way before Stephen Greer got onto it. But he's just charging people money now to do it.
All our technology has only advanced in the last 150 years. I believe that our technology, there's been civilizations that have come and gone before us, lost civilizations that, you know, had technology that we don't even know about. You look at the mathematics behind the pyramids. I'm going to go all Charles von Daniken here. But you've got, I think, what is it, 2.5 million stones or something like that. Though the vast majority of them came from a quarry in Aswan, which was like 350 miles away. And according to Egyptian beliefs, the pyramids went up in 36 years during the period of Ramesses. Now, for that to happen in that amount of time, the statistics are, or the mathematics are, that you would have had to quarry 2 stones, transport them, face them, you know, to go into position, face them all off, quarry them, transport them, face them, and put them into position. It's something like 2 stones every 3 minutes. That's fucking impossible. So either the pyramids were built over a lot longer period of time than 36 years, or they had a technology to build them, and, you know, we've lost that technology.
What about the progenitors?
The what? Sorry.
Progenitors. You ever heard the story of David and Goliath, as in Goliath being a giant?
Yes,
Back
I have. Yeah.
Back then,
Yeah.
humans were massive.
Yeah. Yeah. How do we know that Stonehenge wasn't built by giants and, you know, they were using those stones like Lego bricks? You don't know, do you? You just don't fucking know.
When I go to Stonehenge, I usually talk to a few of these druids, whatever they call them. And their theory is, you know, at Stonehenge, you notice at Stonehenge when you go from the stones, it goes down into a dip, then comes up. Well, their theory is that used to be a river. And they reckon that they got them by river, put them onto the thing, and then just rolled them.
Yes.
Rolled them up. Yeah. And when you get down in that valley and you look, it actually does look like where a riverbed used to be.
Yeah. I've actually looked into that, and you go back 12,000 years thereabouts when, you know, Stonehenge was built, end of the last ice age, or as we were coming out of the last ice age. The rivers, sea level, and everything like that was so much higher back then. It would make sense, you know, that those stones could have been transported by water and put to where they were. There was no way that anybody has dragged them stones from fucking South Wales, yeah, to it is Warwickshire, isn't it? Is it Warwickshire?
No. Wiltshire,
that's it. I knew it was something beginning with a W. So yeah, there's no way that people have dragged those stones all that distance. Absolutely no way.
They're massive.
And if you look closely, they're
underground as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they cemented them in, and they've filled, like where there's chips coming off, they put cement and just filled them in and blended it all back in.
Yeah. Well, I know in the Victorian era, they recited a lot of the stones then, didn't they?
Yeah, but the stones at Stonehenge, apparently this druid bloke was telling me that the military at the time, this was back in like the 20s, the Stonehenge was not like that. It was back in the 20s, it was just a pile of stones with nettles growing around it and everything. And they were going to use it as bombing practice. They actually painted the stones white, and they were going to use them as bombing practice from the skies. And then someone said, well, hang on a minute, this could be something historical, because there's a lot of stones in the area that look similar. And these ones in the area are erected. These ones are not. And they looked into it, and then next thing you know, they've got them all stood up like this. And that's what they think it looks like. It's not actually what it was really like.
Yeah.
Further down, people don't understand.
Like an artistic depiction, isn't it?
Yeah, a mile or 2 miles down the road, you've got Woodhenge. No one's ever heard of Woodhenge.
I have.
Have you? Yeah, you have.
I'm quite into this kind of energy stuff and what have you. And we went over to Woodhenge, only spent a couple of minutes there, but I felt more of an energy there than what I did at Stonehenge. Stonehenge, to me, that was just a corporate fucking gimmick.
Hi, Rick.
It's a money maker, isn't it?
It is. It is.
What about pixies and leprechauns?
Right.
Oh my God, that was a serious right, wasn't it?
Well, if you look into the astral realm, yeah, and you start thinking about them in terms of energy,
SGW's having a field day with you,
and not actual beings. You never know. It could be, you know, a pixie or a little demon, or, you know, something like that. Yeah, a gnome.
Why couldn't it be an extraterrestrial? Why could it not be an extraterrestrial? It doesn't mean to say that they're all 6 foot tall.
Exactly.
Look at these so-called aliens.
We just
about these aliens.
This is what we're here tonight for, guys. We're questioning all the fucking narratives, aren't we?
But if you don't have these conversations, then you never learn anything new, do you?
No,
really?
no, you've got to put the idea out there. You know, a pixie might just be a form of spiritual energy.
Well, you got the Native Americans talk about the Ant-Men, don't you?
Yeah, indeed.
What's the Ant-Man? Am I the Ant-Man?
Purdy was there when Stonehenge was built.
in a past life, not this one. And I tell you what, if I was there, it would have been done a lot fucking quicker. Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, it would have been if I'd have been running the place.
Mermaids. What about mermaids?
I don't know.
I
I
can tell you about mermaids. They're not white. They're not like they tell you in the cartoons and stuff.
Come on, Ant.
No, I don't know if this is true, but apparently in Africa, people, when they were going down to get water, were being pulled in.
We're going back to the Dogon tribe here, because there's something. I'm sure that the Dogons believe in something like life coming from the water.
It is actually. There is some tribe, and people used to be pulled into the water, and they're not. Basically, they look like humans. They've got gills instead of lung. They've got basically gills on the side of their head. They described them as.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's true. But they're pulling people into water and killing them because they're carnivores.
What about? I mean, we know more about the surface of the moon than what we know. What's in the bottom of our oceans. Look at Bermuda Triangle, for example. How do we know? And just off the coast of Guantanamo Bay, there's another area down there where there's been a lot of they're not UFOs, but the underground, underwater lights, UFOs that are underwater. Unidentified submarines. Do you know what I'm talking? I can't remember the
unidentified submersible objects.
That's the one. How do we know that it's not mermaids that's riding around in them? You don't fucking know, do you?
How'd they make them? They got a workshop with fucking blowtorches underneath the water.
Oh god!
I bet you're loving this, aren't you?
But you got the you've also got the Bermuda Triangle, but you've also got the one off of Japan, the other side, and then you've got the Welsh Triangle. Have you heard of the Welsh Triangle?
The Welsh Triangle.
Yeah.
UFOs. Oh, where did it go? No.
Hang on, unicorns. Right. A unicorn, right, is a man with no balls and an erection. That's a unicorn. Isn't it? Is that a unicorn? A unicorn?
No. Unicorn is a horse with a cornet.
It's a man with no balls and an erection. That's a unicorn.
What's happening in the bearded brow?
It's a horse. It's a horse with a cornetto on its head.
Things for them to discuss. And they're actually discussing them seriously.
We're not discussing them seriously.
It sounds like it to me.
Fucking hell, what goes on in your head? Really? No, this is banter. This is just having a bit of fun. We weren't being serious. You thought we were being serious? Oh dear, Kirsty.
Some of the stuff that you were coming out with.
I'm just on a quick fire round. Chopper says the Welsh Triangle's where sheep disappear.
No, we've got military bases underneath the ground, underneath the Brecon Beacons. That's a hot spot for military.
Right.
They train there a lot as well.
While we were down in Lincolnshire, one of our mates came down to see us. The guy with the adjustable bed in the back of his van. Nige. Yeah.
Yes.
Nige.
Clueless Turtle. Yes. Dums. Deep underground military bases. They're all over the world. All over the world. There's a network of ton of them.
Yeah.
Well, Nige was telling us. Nige was a security guard. Yeah, and he was telling us that he finished up working with a guy on security, and this guy used to be ex-special forces, and his job was delivering packages and letters for MI5, right? And he had all sorts of different places where he had to go, and you know they were just having a general chat one day, and you could tell by the way that Nidge was narrating the story that, you know, he wasn't lying, if you know what I mean. He firmly believed what he had been told. And it was saying that, you know, this guy had told him one day he got this package that had to be delivered. There was him in the car and his mate, and they drove up to this farm field and they got on the radio and they said, you know, that they were there at their destination. It says in the next minute, it says the top of the field lifted up on hydraulic rams. Yeah, they went up the track, drove into this deep underground military base. The top of the field came down on top of them, and they went down in an elevator, right?
Yeah.
And then where they'd stopped was, you know, at the bottom on this particular level, and it was just like a circular car park with steel roller shutter doors. Yeah, it says, and one of these doors opened. It says this humanoid figure walked out, hand gestured to them to put the parcel in that locker, right? This humanoid figure was white and about 8 feet tall.
That's a tall white.
There you go. And that was in a deep underground military base just outside London.
Yeah, they're knowledgeable ones, apparently. There's a bloke, go YouTube this bloke, Charles, somebody who used to do weather for the military, and he used to work on I think it's Nellis Air Force Base, doing weather and that.
Right.
And he met someone. Apparently what happened was that they have children on the base. They actually breed and live on the bases. They never leave. And one of the children was injured or something, and he actually thought it was a human. And he went and helped them. And then this big tall white female, basically says it looked like me. Basically, it's just white, completely white. And he said when he got close to him, he didn't actually realise that it was an alien. It was really, really weird. And he began getting friendly with them. Yeah, there's the interview on there and everything. He talks about it, and they're the tall whites, but they can be really aggressive and strong.
Yeah. I honestly don't know, mate. I have seen things in the sky that I can't explain.
Yay! We have light again.
And the Lord said, let there be light, and there was. Yeah, I have seen things in the sky that I can't explain on a couple of occasions. 2 of them were in exactly the same spot and probably 20 years apart. And that was just like a silver object just hovering in the sky. And then it just literally, it went poof, straight up and it was gone. So, you know, I can't explain what that was because, you know, I can assume, you know, it could have been something that our military had. It could have been an identified flying object of some description that had technology beyond what we know about. But like I say, for us to think that we're the only, you know, civilized, well, we're not civilized, but the only the only race in the entire universe, it just defies it defies all logic, basically.
Yeah. Have you seen my video of the fleet of UFOs?
Don't think
I haven't, mate.
so.
No.
This was like the second week of me doing night vision. I used to go out literally like in the winter time from 6 o'clock till about 1 o'clock in the morning, just constantly scanning the skies like that with a night vision scope, constantly filming. And it happened to get lucky. Someone told me just to pan round to the right towards Jupiter as it was going down. And as I got to the right, I saw Jupiter, and all of a sudden I saw like basically it was like a V shape, but it was separate crafts. They were basically, where's the angle? Yeah. So they're basically flying like that, and all of a sudden they'd split open like that, and one was zigzagged like this real quick, literally like across the sky like that. And people keep saying, "Oh, it was just birds," but at the time, as they came over, dogs next door started barking for no reason, and I felt the hairs on my arms stand up and everything. It was really strange. I got it on video, and it's on YouTube. It's not on this channel. It's on my UFO channel what I had.
SGW. Yeah. It really does seem that you are capable of believing anything at all. An open mind is one thing, but you really shouldn't. At no point have I said that I believe in fairies or unicorns or pixies or anything like that. There is a possibility. It could be, another name for, the gods. Let's go to the Anunnaki. They were classed as the gods of back in, times before we knew about, times before alleged Noah. The Anunnaki, the Egyptians worshipped, these different gods, Isis, and all of these gods were alleged to have come from, outer space. The Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. The Sumerian
skulls, for example, elongated skulls.
Yeah. It could be just another name for a source of energy. It could be a name for an extraterrestrial being. I'm not saying I believe any of it. What I'm saying is anything's fucking possible. And, how do I don't know. I can't, I can't say for 100% that something's fucking real. The same as, a lot of people, but you have to have an open mind.
Yeah. I mean, they've got categories of races called the Nordics. Who are the ones that have? Someone just mentioned that Germans. Actually, I've just seen that. Proof that the United States has been ruled by a race of tall white space aliens. That's the tall whites, who also assisted the Nazis. I thought he got the Nordics that look human, but they actually live on inner Earth. That's a theory.
Yeah, I've heard about the Nordics. Just let me get me glasses. My eyes are fading.
We could talk about jump rooms and all that shit if you want. That's probably too far out for most of them. Some of them are still getting over this COVID-19. Let's talk about Barack Obama.
Who?
Barack Obama. His name Barry or something.
I'm not really qualified to speak about him, to be honest. I thought that, when he first came out and, he was making all these fucking... In fact, he was probably one of the people that woke me up in a certain respect to the delusion that political groups feed you, if you know what I mean. He was the one that came in with the yes we can change speech and everything like that, and then
but they all use that, don't they? They always use those things. Change, make America great again. It was never great in the first place. The American dream.
No, it wasn't. But to be fair, when Trump got into power, he started doing exactly what he said that he was going to do. He turned the economy around. More and more people in the States had more and more employment. And, the economy was on the up and up. And then if you look at it,
David Lamont,
they really didn't want him in power, and they've done everything possible to try and drag his name through the shit. I mean, even to the Russian collusion of having, Trump indicted because of his hand in the pockets of the Russians trying to swing opinion. And yet news has just leaked out just over the last few days since all these Hillary Clinton emails, the 33,000 emails have been released. News has come out now that it was Joe Biden that had his hand in the Russians' pocket. Hillary Clinton took $3 million off the Russians for trying to discredit Trump and everything like that. So all that's new information that's just kind of coming out, isn't it? SGW, no one with any sense denies that there must be intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. Why do you speak as though on you truthers think so?
I think you mean only you truthers.
Oh, why do you speak as though only you truthers think so? No, I'm not speaking as, you know, it's only us that think that. There's lots of people out there that have got open mind. I'm not saying it's not just, you know, it's just us.
Now, I think more and more people believe there's something out there.
Yeah, well, there has to be common sense. You know, if you let common sense prevail there, then yeah,
I don't know.
there has to be.
It's called common sense.
I can't remember how many thousands of planets, you know, NASA have actually have identified now as possible habitable planets orbiting their own sun. So, you know,
do you
if
believe
the
all that
environment
about NASA?
and the conditions are right, and the, you know, the orbit of a planet is right, and it's in the Goldilocks zone and the rest of it, then there's a possibility for life, you know, on other planets.
I think NASA.
Now, what have you said?
Mr. W. Imagine getting
Finger blasted by ET. Now that would be something to phone home about. Oh dear, I wish I could post that comment to Liam. Liam would have nightmares at that one, wouldn't he? For everybody in here, yeah, the next time they get into a chat on one of Liam's...
Let me just take a picture.
The next time they get into a chat on one of Liam's lives, yeah, everybody start talking about ET. Because he is really freaked out by ET.
Hold on, Kayla, I'm going to take a picture of that. Let me take a picture of this so you can have it back.
That's an absolute gem, that is, Mr. W. SGW, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I don't like the terminology of calling people sheep.
Oh no, I need to turn the
You'll have to turn the flash off, love. No, I don't like the terminology of, yeah, us sheep know nothing. You know, like I said before, everybody's in a state of evolution at, you know, certain stages in the life. Some people, know more than others. Some people think they know more than others. Everybody knows something about something else that nobody else knows about. You know, so yeah, I just don't like the terminology of you know, sheep.
Here you go, darling. There you go.
Unless we're talking about Mevy. Now Mevy's, I think Mevy's spent far too much time with sheep, possibly in a romantic way. Love you, Mevy.
They comment.
Turtles.
We're still up there away.
Probably smarter.
No, I don't say sheep anymore. I say lemons. Remember that game Lemons, where they all follow and you have to they drop off, don't they?
Mr. W, some of us have been fingered by aliens and wouldn't find that comment funny.
You are?
Topper, Mr. W, some of us have been fingered by aliens and wouldn't find that comment funny.
Oh, sorry, Topper. Oh dear. Yeah, Run From Home, you're right. It was Joe Biden's son colluding with Russia. That's right. And wasn't it Joe Biden that helped his son out?
Careful.
Watching.
did you do that noise?
SG again. Why are truthers right wing?
It's been emotional fun life too. Night night.
I'm neither right or left.
And the shark.
Dan, are you still in here, man? Is our Connor still in as well?
We've nearly done 3 hours.
Fucking hell, marathon stream.
How's your laptop life doing, Ant?
Charging.
Isn't it?
I'm all right because I use Linux. It doesn't use as much power as a Windows system.
Oh, nice one.
So from a full
Good night,
battery,
Vanlife.
I got about 3.5 hours.
Nice one.
100% because I charged it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because we're hooked up, aren't we? So we're all right at the minute.
My batteries were full earlier. I bought all the power I could get in.
Bloody hell.
That's right in summertime. It's winter time you struggle.
Yeah. Jinx said we're all sheep. Look how we're all doing as we're told with the lockdown. I'm breaking out of that box. I said I'm going back to work. Obviously, I'm still gonna try and do the social distancing and all the rest of it, but yeah, I'm breaking out of that box.
3rd G&T. Thomas has had a bottle of red wine. He's on his 3rd G&T.
Dan says Connor's a little sleepy. Cry boy is just joined back in to admire my fantastic hairstyle. Thank you, Dan.
I haven't had any alcohol, but the stuff that these guys have been coming out with tonight, that's something
good.
else. It's been brilliant.
It's been an absolute laugh.
It's entertainment, isn't it? That's what YouTube is about.
Narrative.
You need to stop talking at the same time.
Sorry, Anne, go ahead.
It's entertainment. That's what YouTube is about. I mean, people are allowed to say what they think without being attacked. Like, you don't believe in fairies. Someone else might believe in fairies. Just because it's like you can't bully someone because they're this religion or they're that religion. At the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Just because someone believes something else.
Yeah. We all have our different perceptions, don't we?
No, Tim, it's May the 1st, not May the 9th. So you got it wrong again.
Ant says May the 9th he's going to reconsider lockdown.
He's just got the shit because I blocked him from my channel because he's a knob.
Who?
He's always every time I say something, he always attacks.
Who's that?
Timony.
Oh.
Is that Timony up in the Peaks? Is that the Tim that we're thinking about?
Is it Tim from the Peaks?
Tim, is it you from the Peaks?
All he talks about is politics. Literally, if you talk about Brexit, that gets him going big time.
Yeah.
I think it might be
It
Tim.
must be Tim from the Peaks.
Tim, is that you?
Never talk politics because no one's right. That's why it's politics. It's there to divide.
It is.
If you took politics out of everything, then the world would be a better place.
No, Tim's declaring he's not left or right, he's independent.
I'm spiritual, not religious too, Kerry.
I'm not sure I get that one, Tim.
If we all stood together naked, there would only be 2 types, good and bad.
That's a fair point, Jinxer.
Mm-hmm.
And big and small.
We do need to stick together.
Yeah, you're right, Topper. We do. We do. You know, there's enough fucking division in this world, and while people are divided, you know, you're getting the wool pulled over your eyes. So.
But done out when you got your neighbours, if you live in a house, reporting you because you've gone down the road with your mates.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is the world coming to? How sad and pathetic do people have to be to do shit like that?
It is sad.
Didn't they do that in Germany?
But they're being encouraged to do it, aren't they, at the end of the day?
Yeah, they are. They are. You know, and who are they being encouraged by? Our government.
It's like it's competition of who's the biggest suck up.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe these people out there realise that they're going to get the vaccine, and they actually want the right vaccine, and that's the reason why they're sucking up to the government. Because I think there'll probably be two kinds of vaccine. One that, you know, enables the people to integrate into the microchip society, and the other vaccine for the dissenters that, oh dear, you've had an anaphylactic shock and died.
Roam from home are on the Isle of Man. Their lockdown eases Friday. Construction trades back first. They haven't even hit their peak yet. Opinion divides, which is a shame. It does, but if people can respect that other people have opinions, then there wouldn't be so much of a problem. It's just that other people just have to be right. But your right isn't my right. My right isn't their right. It's just mad.
My right isn't
just
my left.
Just respect
it. But if you were looking at me face on, my right would be your
less
left.
Hate, more love.
See, the thing with this chip, how are they going to do it?
Oh,
it's going to have to go in the hand. They don't put vaccines in your hand, do they?
Maybe it's. To be honest, mate, I don't know. Just give me a moment.
What's that? Ant says he hates London but won't admit it through multiculturalism. Oh, that's a bit wrong there, mate, because I've got black nieces and nephews. I go on. I've got all sorts in my family tree. It's nothing to do with religion and shit like that, multiculturalism. It's to do with fucking MPs and lords and mayors and shit that haven't left London, and they think everyone should live in London in the way they're doing it. I mean, you've got people up north have got hardly any money, but the people down south have never even been up north to see what's going on, like the miners and stuff like that. London, the MPs only care about London, the square mile. That's all they care about.
It's fire. For cooling down. No.
Right. This information's on patentscope.wipo.int. Right. I'm not sure if there's any truth behind this or not. You'd think something like this would be in the American Patents Office, but I haven't found a link coming up for the Patents Office. WO2020060606 cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Title: cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Human body activity associated with a task provided to a user that may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or comprised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system, communicatively coupled to the device of the user, may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award a cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified.
Right, how long's this stream going to go? Because I'm dying, I'm peeing my pants here, I'm holding it back. No. If you ever watch one of my live streams, I'm always pissing, aren't I? Constantly, like a racehorse. I've been trying not to piss myself. I'm literally holding it. It's like when you're in a car and you go over a bump, oh!
Now's the time to make him laugh, guys. Are you ticklish, Ant? No, do you want to carry on, or you know?
Well, that's past my bedtime 2 hours ago.
Wow.
Right.
I'm usually getting bed early, and I'm up early.
Right. Well, in that case, we will call it a night. But it's been absolutely
I'm
fantastic.
getting too much hate as it is.
Yeah, it's been fantastic having you in here.
Yeah, it's been good.
An absolute laugh. You know, guys, don't take everything that we've said in here seriously. You know,
because if you look at a belief, spell the word belief, in the middle you got the word lie.
Lie.
There's always a lie in a belief.
Yes, there is. There is.
Everyone's got to have a belief. Doesn't mean it's real.
Yep. Indeed, you're right. You're right. Oh, by the way, that the applicants for that technology were Microsoft Technology Licensing, LLC, Microsoft Way, Redmond, Washington. So there you go.
There you go.
Right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Love you all.
Oh, before you do it, what was that flickering? See?
No, that was me on the light switch.
All right. Basically, go over to Twitter to John McAfee that used to do the antivirus. You heard of him?
Yes. Yeah. I have.
He tweeted about that. Actually, he said it's basically doomed for human race.
He said what? Sorry.
It's basically doomed for the human race.
Yeah. He also he put a tweet up on Twitter not so long back, saying that we've all been fucking scammed over this COVID virus as well.
Look at what Matthew's put.
Cracking,
Enjoyed it. I've cried, laughed, sobbed, panicked, hyperventilated, felt suicidal, but thoroughly enjoyed it.
Awesome.
See, what I'm saying is, people think when I say something, it's fact. It's not. It's what I believe. Yeah. It's like some people believe it as someone in a guy called God, and they're determined that it's real. But what I say is, just go out and research the shit. If you don't believe me, just go and research it. It's not fucking hard. You sat in your house, locked down, sit on the laptop and type up what you want to look for.
Yeah. Can I just say something? D41VX7, Daniel Bourne.
Battery's about to die.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You shouldn't project how you feel about yourself onto other people.
I don't know where the charger is.
It should be in. There it is.
There.
We're coming unplugged. Right, there we are. Right, guys, it's been fantastic having you all in. Ant, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you for joining us.
We're going to do another live tomorrow night, so 8 o'clock.
I have lost it.
Anybody that fancies joining us and, jumping up on screen, we're doing it open screen. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Kaylin.
Before I go, SGW.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm not going to hate on you because people put these comments because they think I'm going to attack them.
Kaylin, careful of the computer. Whoa. No, you're not.
Oh
my God. And you
can't. I'm going to go to the toilet. I'm going to piss my pants. Probably shit the bed, right? Done that before.
I haven't, not for a lot of years.
Oh dear.
I got a wood burner to burn the evidence though.
Right, everybody. Thank you very much. Cheers, Anne.
See you later.
Good night.
We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you all tomorrow night.
Night, night.
Bye, guys.
No.